I can't believe I missed Hairspray last night.
Was it on TV?
I guess so. I just didn't realize until I saw Tef Chipperson put up a Photoshop of you and I dressed as the chubby gals from Hairspray.
I saw somebody tweet about it too, that they're watching. Joanne Nosochinsky.
Oh, yeah?
I saw her. She tweeted to me about Hairspray. I'm like, what? I just stood out for some reason.
Well, it was the latest live musical, which I feel like are just put on TV for hate tweets, to get the network some attention, because everybody's just going to sit there and tweet about how shitty it is.
So, you mean people aren't supportive of it?
Not really, no.
I didn't
realize it was on until this morning when I was going through news articles or whatever, and there was a rundown of the best and the worst of Hairspray. The best was the songs, and the worst was the cameos. And I was like, stupid.
What was it, shot live, the play? What did they do that with? There was another one they did it with.
Well, they've been doing it all the networks do it at least once a year now, where they do a live musical on the set and everything. They did Grease recently.
That was what it was, yeah.
Grease, and they did a taped version of Rocky Horror Picture Show. It wasn't live.
What's the use of it then?
I don't know.
I want it live.
Well, yeah, because at least then you're watching because somebody might fuck something up.
Can they show the whole thing? I've seen Rocky Horror. I've been to it a couple of times. It's actually a fun show to go to, but isn't there other things?
Do you throw toast in the audience? Do you sit there? Do you go to the crazy midnight showings?
I was getting, they only had midnight showings. I was getting something. I had something, I don't remember what it was, but I was throwing it I was 13. I went with Bill D'Angelo and a couple other people. And I had something, a toast. I was throwing it at these people in front of us, and the guy knew. So there's one thing where they do with eggs.
Yeah.
You have to sneak the eggs in, though. So the guy turned around and whipped an egg right at my face. And it hit me right in the glasses. He was annoyed because I had been lobbing stuff at him.
You had yolk on your glasses?
Yes, I did. I had egg on my face for real. They threw an egg right at my face.
Because you're supposed to throw it at the screen, not at your fellow.
I think I had a mohawk or something I was just, amused by.
Right.
It's a fun show,
and
though.
Then he chucked an egg at your face?
Yeah, he won that exchange handily.
Yeah, how do you feel after that? Because obviously,
like a dick.
Because you and your friends
a weakling.
are all laughing. She's like, look at this asshole. Just throwing breadcrumbs at him like he's a fucking pigeon. Then you get an egg.
Yeah, you don't feel as good.
No.
You feel it's more fun throwing something than having something thrown at you.
It is?
Yes.
Oh, okay.
It's a real life lesson.
That is. That's a way to remember. So, but that's the movie. You didn't go to see the play.
No, they act out live on stage.
Oh, yeah, I forgot they do that too.
And that's the fun part. There's a real fun, it's a fun atmosphere.
Cosplayers?
Kind of, but they're on stage, and it's not as douchey as it sounds. So they go, a toast. Everybody throws toast at the screen. It's just stupid.
Right.
But it was enjoyable.
You liked it.
Yeah, so the movie Fame influenced me so much. I love that movie so much.
What do you mean it influenced you?
Never bring your friends to see you to stand up.
I see.
Before I ever did stand up, a decade before I ever did stand up, I said, you never bring a big group who's just going to cheer you on.
Right.
Because it gives you a false sense of being good. And I told that actor when I met him that he couldn't have given a fuck.
He didn't care.
No,
I threw an egg at your face.
I literally could have said to him, I really like a felt hat, but I don't own one, and that would have had the same impact. He didn't give a fuck.
You know how great it would be if you just had memories of childhood of just different instances of you doing stupid things and somebody throwing an egg at you?
Yeah.
I would love that.
You and me both. It'd be a great book.
Egg on my face.
Yeah.
The Jim Norton story.
My hands up in the air like, boy, here we go again. A little egg on the face, a wink.
And then you're just trying to have a good time with it, but people are throwing eggs at you at book signings and everything.
Yeah, I would hate that.
Yeah, could you stop doing that?
The bookstores would hate that too because the fucking eggs would get all over the books.
Yeah. Yeah, so you went to, as a kid, you went to Rocky Horror.
Yeah, 13 or whatever. And it was a fun show. I would love to see the play, though.
Yeah, I mean, I don't know. I seen the Tim Curry movie. That's enough.
Tim Curry was great as Frankfurter, and even Susan Sarandon was really good.
Yeah.
Meatloaf is good in that.
I didn't see... and I guess that also probably informed your idea of a real woman, huh?
You know, it's funny. Tim Curry, I remember being intrigued by Tim Curry. Not sexually, but just intrigued by this character.
Right.
Before I ever saw the movie.
You were interested in it.
My friend's dad was involved in theater, and I guess they were fans of this show.
And you were like, I got to learn more about this guy.
No, I just thought there was something cool about him, even though he's a weird, he played a transvestite, which you think wouldn't be the coolest guy in the film, but he was.
Especially for a 13-year-old boy.
That's a good point.
Yeah. Most 13-year-old boys are not as evolved as some people are in 2016. Like nowadays, if somebody was like, yeah, the transvestite in that movie is the best. they'd be like, okay, I can accept that, but not a 13-year-old boy. Generally,
What do you want? I'm ahead of the curve.
I bet you are. Yeah, and so they did that with Laverne Cox on Fox earlier this year. You know, from Orange is the New Black.
They did
Rocky Horror.
Oh, I didn't know that.
I didn't watch that though.
Now I have no interest in seeing her as Frankenfurter.
No, and that was taped.
Wait, is that who she played? Frankenfurter?
Yeah.
Ugh.
Why?
She doesn't look. It's not good casting.
Well, you're not supposed to just cast it based on the other movie. Like, you don't just, like, if you're going to remake something, you're not supposed to look at that cast and be like, okay, we need somebody that looks like these people.
No,
Yeah,
but
I think she was generally well received.
Well, I'm sure she was.
I think that was like
of
the
course
only
she was.
good part of the movie is what I hear.
Well, I'd like to see her as Frankenfurter. I have no desire to see her as Frankenfurter
And Tim Curry was in
because
it,
she
too.
looks like a woman. Like almost like Tim Curry didn't look like a woman; he looked like a transvestite. To me,
Right.
that's what the role is.
But she's actually a trans person.
She's transgender. She's not a transvestite. The difference.
Oh, is transvestite still a thing? I thought that was one of those things you can't say.
Of course you can.
I didn't know.
Yeah, it's a guy who wears women's clothing. There's a
Oh.
difference.
Oh.
Yeah, that's actually poor casting.
You mean because she's got real titties?
Yeah, and you know, Tim Curry just lives his life as a man.
Right. I see. I see.
If she was good, she was good, but I wouldn't. I have no interest in seeing her.
No, I'm not going to watch that. I'm not going to watch that. And I was fine, I guess, in hindsight. I was like, oh, I didn't even know that was on last night. And then I realized I wouldn't have watched it had I known it was on last night. Hairspray, that is.
Yeah, I wouldn't have either. I have no desire. I'm not a big fan of live theaters. I've said I've gone to a bunch and I've liked the ones I've seen, but I'm very crazy about which ones I go to because the experience can be awful, I'm sure.
Yeah, well, you feel trapped.
Trapped.
Like, they're so long. I had to go to a learn how to have a baby class last night. It was 3 fucking hours long of just every detail you could ever know. And I'm going like everybody has a baby. Like, just figure it out when you get to the hospital. You know what I mean? Like,
Do we not enjoying the class?
I was squirming so much in my chair, and it was taking me everything to not give off those obnoxious.
Like Jess enjoying it?
She was happy to have the information, but there was only 3 couples there, and by the time it was 2.5 hours had gone by, and then she asked if anybody had any questions, and I was like, okay, we're wrapping up here, and this one girl that was there asked like 5 questions in a row.
Were you annoyed?
Yeah, I wanted to be like, we got to get out of here. Could be a conversation between you two. We don't need all the information.
Well, she was trying to figure out how to have her baby.
You go to the hospital, and it comes out, and you Google some shit, and that's it.
I know.
Was it one class, or do you have to go back for more?
I'm
I
not
hope there's
going
more.
back.
I know you should go back.
I told her.
Responsibility.
We had like 3.
Yeah, and he'll have 3 too.
And you know how much information we ended up using?
A lot, right?
Like 0.
0 donut.
0.
What were
Yes.
the classes?
It was just like, like delivery and all that shit.
Oh.
But she was induced and then she had the baby and
Right.
we never.
And you figure it out once it's here.
Yep.
Right? Like, it's like, okay, now there's a person here.
Yep.
Yeah, we had
I'm the worst. I'd panic so much. I'd want to have every class about a baby. The idea that I could have the responsibility of a baby. Like, what if it fucking falls?
Yeah, but it's not how to raise a baby. It's like
how does it get out of a vagina?
it's like birthing classes.
I know, but I would want to go. I'd be so paranoid. I'm scared to have kids. 'Cause I'm so afraid something bad's going to happen.
Jim would come into the hospital with a birth plan.
Yes, I would, whatever that means.
This is my birth plan.
What's a birth plan?
It's how you see it. It's like how you see it going.
Oh, okay.
Like, and some people take it way too seriously. Some people are like, we need like lilac candles in the room and blah,
That's
blah,
nice.
blah.
To be born into that is nice.
Oh, yeah, it really makes a huge difference. It
does.
really just makes a huge difference when you're squeezing a watermelon out of a fucking hole the size of a lemon. I'm sure the candles in the room.
By the way, I think that's something Sam got from class last night.
No,
That
no.
Watermelon out of a lemon. Am I right or wrong? That's class
No,
talk.
we don't learn in the class
Teacher's
that a baby is
That's class talk.
the baby is bigger than the vagina is. Most people come in with that information. I skipped the night before. It was
Oh, that's fun.
It was babies. I skipped the night before. Just a little practice. It was baby CPR class.
Yeah, take that.
No, I skipped it. I did red eye instead. I had
You skip baby CPR?
yeah.
Yeah, but what if you need it? That's when you might need. That's for after the kid's born.
That's all right. I didn't do that either. So
Yeah, it's fine. Jess did it.
it's cool. Yeah.
Yeah, what if she's not home and you are?
Then she can take the baby with her. That's just a great excuse. She's
Yeah.
like,
Hey, don't leave it with me.
yeah, don't leave it with me. I didn't take the class. I don't know what's going to happen.
Yeah, you should take CPR.
Did you feed the baby? Nah, I could choke. I don't know how to do
Yeah.
CPR.
Hey, what am I, stupid?
Instead
Yeah.
of red eye, you got to worry about blue face.
Yeah, no. So I'm not. I wasn't going to take that. And then there's all these other classes, but I'm not going to the rest of them because I got everything I need to know right now. I think. And I'll figure out the rest as I go.
You think, look, I provided the cum, you do the rest.
Exactly.
Fair
exactly.
enough.
And there's no class that could teach you how to provide that cum for yourself. You know what I mean?
That's true.
That's what I bring to the table. Jism. Other than that,
yeah, that's a good picture.
you don't mouth-to-mouth babies. There's an illustration of a baby having mouth-to-mouth performed on it.
Uncle Paul's in every CPR class.
Yeah. Hey, where's that little doll?
Uncle Paul, that's not where you push. Why are you?
Sure it is. It's like when you blow up the balloon, you have to pinch the nose and go and blow it up.
Why are you blowing into that? That's not an inflator.
Yes, it is.
This guy's been preparing to have a kid for 20 years.
I don't understand. Just in case I meet the right one.
In case I meet the right lady. Every time you blow air into it, its little feet kick happily.
No, it's not what you're supposed to do. Uncle Paul's just looking around for the one CPR class that's going to have the live baby. Do you guys use real babies?
He's on
Johnny.
the phone.
Huh?
Oh.
Johnny in Long Beach is on the phone. What's up, Johnny?
What's going on, Sam?
Yeah.
Jim, what's going on?
Yeah, he's been bad.
No, it's an illustration of a baby having his back hit to try to get the fucking broccoli or whatever's in his
Misbehaved.
mouth out.
Oh.
He's not spanking him.
Sam, you're stupid for not taking that class. I was just like you. I thought the same thing. I'm like, I'm not going to take it. And sure enough, I was like, I took it. And then my wife, she went out one day. She left me home with the baby. And what do you know? I wasn't paying attention. And she started choking on something. And I panicked. I was like, shit.
Is the
what hell
baby
I gotta do?
baby dead?
Nope.
Well, then
But
guess
the
what?
Well, the CPR class saved me. I saved my own baby.
Oh, you went to the
What'd
class.
you do?
I had to put it like on my forearm and smack it on the back.
All right, now I know.
Oh, you don't blow. When do you blow air in?
You don't do mouth to mouth on a baby.
Yeah, you do. There's a picture of it right there.
You don't.
No. I had to. You don't give mouth to mouth, Jim.
Right there, baby giving CPR on
Yeah.
side of a Florida freeway.
Because Adrian's going to his own fucking bookmarks. I don't know what he's doing over there.
Did that
but you
baby
don't-
live?
The baby's fine. But you don't give mouth to mouth to a baby.
If it's choking, you might have to.
No, you put it. You just heard Johnny in Long Beach. You put it on your forearm. You smack it on the back. Right?
Exactly.
Good. We figured it out.
It's in stable condition.
But you should take a class though.
I got it, buddy. You just taught me. I got it.
I just saw the paper, the big story in the paper today. Some two kids got killed because this like radiator burst.
Yeah.
And it's just like, and I guess the steam killed them. It was like really a bad problem in this building.
Right.
It's like, no matter how good a parent you are or what you do, you just can't fucking stop it.
Do you have sympathy for the landlord of that building if he was an artist?
Well, I don't know if it's his fault. I mean, they said the heat was too high. And then people have been complaining, like you said, your building, you can't control the heat.
Yeah.
Well, yeah, I don't know if it was this guy's fault. I mean, who the fuck knows?
If what happened? The radiator set on fire?
No, it burst. Some pipe burst, which happens, and all of the I don't know if it was his fault. Maybe the landlord had complained in the city and they hadn't fixed it. I mean, or something. I don't know. It was like a city building, I think.
Yeah. So you're saying that, like, even if you go, that's right. Even if you go to the CPR classes, what happened? That's what I tell Jess. What happens if the radiator bursts and everybody dies anyway?
Yeah.
What are you gonna do?
Fucking stinks.
Yeah. It's not good. You can't wait. I mean, you can't predict everything.
You're not nervous?
No, not right now. I'm sure once reality sets in, maybe I will be, but no, not at the moment. I'll figure it out when it gets here. I got other things to do right now, and then once I got to do that, I'll do that. Right? I don't think it'll be what it is. You know what I mean? I probably won't sleep that much, but I don't sleep that much now. That's everybody's like, oh, say goodbye to your sleep. Okay.
I'd be so paranoid about doing something like where the kid choked or the kid. I couldn't handle it. It scares me.
There's so many people in the world.
Have babies, yeah, and a lot of them are awful. That's true. But
Right.
It frightens me though.
And all the people that you see somehow survived being babies. And all the people that
That's true.
see...
Bobo's an adult, but his mother, might have been good. Like I mean, I'm worried that I would make a mistake and that the kid would get hurt or get sick or die. Like I couldn't handle it, man.
No, it's gonna be. I'm
Too much.
You just pay attention. You know what I mean?
I don't know.
You just pay attention. And you go, okay, we're good. Don't do dumb shit.
Yeah, but even if you don't do dumb shit,
You could, but you could also kill yourself by mistake. Like, how do I know? I go to the train station every day. What if I slip and I fall onto the train tracks and die.
Big laughs for everyone.
But, you can't... Yeah, of course anything could happen, but as long as you just function like a human being, I think everything will be okay.
Okay.
And check your radiator.
Yeah.
Don't get the kids too close to the radiator.
Fucking...
If it's making weird noises, maybe back away.
It's almost like there's nothing you do is right. Like you do, you know what I mean? And no matter what you do, you're still like, it's 50-50.
I don't think it's 50-50. There's not the risk of being blown up by your radiator is not 50%.
No, but I mean, there's something can happen.
Yeah, but that's still not 50-50. That's like
maybe not, but it just
a fraction of 1%.
Still scares me.
And you could be the fraction of 1%, sure, but what are you going to do? You can't be scared of being the fraction of 1%.
Yeah, I guess not.
Look at that photo of BoBo. He's so happy with Mr. Maloney.
There's nice color in that photo, actually. That's a really nice photo.
It really is. It looks like it's one of those Citizens of New York photos.
Yeah, or like a card. The dog looks very cute. He looks idiotic. Plants look good.
The plants on the oven?
Oh, yeah. Yeah, they are on the oven.
Let's go to Matt in Pennsylvania. What's up, Matt?
Yo, what's up?
Hi, Matt.
Yo, Sam, you gotta take those classes, man. You gotta grow up, man. You watching wrestling, you eating chicken fingers for dinner. The least you could do, man.
All right, no, I'll figure it
You
out.
gotta be a man on this one.
I am. I was at I was in a class all night last night. It was enough.
What time was the class?
Making Legos,
It was at like
Legos and stuff. Like, you gotta give it something, man.
it was 6:30. It was 9:15 by the time I left. It's too long. I had to
was
go
it?
home and watch the Emile Hirsch movie.
Where was it? How was it?
The Emile Hirsch movie was good.
That's terrific.
Better than the class.
All right, man. Love the show, man.
All right, buddy. I'll talk to you later. Yeah, I was in some lady's house.
The Emile Hirsch movie?
No. The Emile Hirsch movie I watched in my own private residence. But, yeah, Emile Hirsch will be in today. I'm excited about that. And Matt Iseman's coming in today.
Yeah.
So that's very good. Speaking of dangerous things that happen to people, we did get an update on that jogger that we were talking about.
Yeah, and apparently it was in the email the other day, and I didn't even see it.
Yes.
Sam told me this morning. I never saw the story.
Yeah, I put this article aside when we didn't get to it. Remember we were talking about that jogger that they said that somebody grabbed her? She said somebody grabbed her off the street while she was jogging. She was gone for, 3 weeks, I think? Mm-hmm. And then she said it was two Hispanic women. And they had kidnapped her, and they had branded her, and they had beaten her up, and they had torn out her hair, and they had chained her up, tortured her. And then when they were done, they just threw her on the side of the road. And she was found, and she had all this damage and everything.
Yeah, she was fucked up.
Yeah, there were police reports and medical reports, but there was no explanation as to why it happened to her.
What it said?
Yeah, what the branding said. They said that they stamped some message on her, but there was no explanation as to what it was. And there's been no sort of conclusion and no explanation as to why she would be taken. And now she's left town.
That I saw. Yeah, I saw that update where they.
That's the update.
Oh, yeah, I did read that. Where the guy, the friend of the family was. They left the dogs behind, but he was walking the dogs. Yeah, I did read that. I thought there was an update as to what she's doing or something.
No, nobody knows. Yeah. They said
they're just getting out of town because they're tired of the media questions, probably.
Yeah, but they said the neighbor said. One of the neighbors claimed it was a friend's, blah, 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 and said, this is the neighbor who lived next door to Papini, which is Keith's childhood home, and has known him since he was 5 years old, said, I don't think they're ever coming back here again.
Yeah, probably not. They're probably just leaving town.
Forever?
They probably moved. If the case is true and it really happened, it's probably a traumatic thing, and they just don't want to go back there and be reminded, or maybe the scrutiny they're under, who knows? I don't know. I can't.
So you think it could just be avoiding the media and all this stuff, as opposed to being like, we're in over our heads, we got to get out of here.
That's a possibility as well.
Right.
That's a possibility as well. But again, I don't know anything about the case or what it said.
I just think it's another very weird part of this story. Like, I don't understand why. At least, of course, it's traumatic, but you would think they would at least wait until the case is done or the story's been told or at least the investigation is complete.
Yeah, but what if it never gets
before they skip town? I guess but they haven't. It's
even
been
skipping town. You can't skip town in 2016. It's hard for cell phones. You're found very quickly. There's nowhere they're going. I'm reading this. They said they're with a wealthy relative, which is, maybe that's what it is.
It's possible.
Maybe for the holidays, they're just going up to relax and fucking get out of the spotlight while the police investigate.
But what's it been, a week, if that, since it happened?
More than that.
Yeah, like 2 weeks.
2 weeks, and they're like, all right, we're out of here. I would have thought that they would stick around a lot longer to at least try to help in the investigation or figure out who did this.
Her body showed signs of extreme torture.
So fucking weird.
Yeah, it's a weird case.
Because it's not fake, because she was legit tortured.
Yeah.
So something happened. She's got to know something, right?
You think it might be but then again, if it was drug dealers and stuff like that,
yeah,
maybe
there's got to be some reason because he doesn't want people knowing about it.
He said he was one of the neighbors claimed that this guy was driving, her husband was driving a friend's truck when he was seen, and that he was getting out of town to stay under the radar for people who may be trying to harm his wife.
So maybe they think that this is going to continue.
Look, I can't see re-kidnapping a woman after you let her go. No, I think that's over.
Right.
But I don't know. Drug dealers normally don't keep you for 3 weeks and then let you go unless there's a ransom involved. If there was no ransom, it would have been a kidnapping.
Unless there is a ransom involved and they didn't want to say anything about it. True. Like unless the husband did pay somebody and didn't tell anybody because he doesn't want people knowing there's stuff attached to it. That's possible.
It's very possible.
But this is, I mean, what can you do besides speculate? It's such a weird case.
Yeah, because if it's drug dealers, they normally... I saw a cute video from Mexico recently of like 3 or 4 people who were on the side of the road, and they had, I guess, done something the cartel didn't like, because they were just found with their hands cut off and baggies over their hands.
Oh, my God.
So they cut their hands off and then threw them on the side of the road.
And that was it?
With baggies on their hands, yeah.
Well, it's almost...
normally they kill you, but they didn't kill these people.
I think that sometimes they know that certain people are going to know exactly who did this. So it's almost like, don't fuck with us because we do this. We want you to see, and we want these people to be able to tell you exactly what we did.
Yeah.
Without getting caught, obviously.
They normally don't leave you alive, though, especially after keeping you for 3 weeks.
Right.
It just doesn't really happen.
Right. Very odd. Very odd.
Do you think she's telling the truth? She's got to be.
I think she's telling the truth about being tortured. I think she's telling the truth about being grabbed off the road. But I don't think we know the whole story. I think that there's some kind of background to this. Whether it's sex-related, like cheating, and nobody can say anything, or more likely like a drug deal gone wrong, or maybe they were involved in some kind of illegal business that they thought they were going to make a whole bunch of money and they got in over their heads.
Okay, maybe.
You know? I was thinking...
I want to know what it says on the fucking...
Me too.
Either maybe he was fucking someone he shouldn't have been fucking, so who knows? Or maybe she was, or maybe nothing.
Yeah.
You don't want to speculate that a woman was cheating after she's got tortured. But it's a weird case.
It's very strange.
It's weird.
It's like that, I always think about that episode of The Sopranos. The episode of The Sopranos that might have made me the most uncomfortable was the one where Tony's lending money to the guy who gambles, who owns the sporting goods store.
He was in the Terminator, that guy, I think.
Yeah, that's
great.
him.
Tremendous.
Yeah. And he's living in the tent in his store, and his whole life is just crumbling around him.
Why was he living in the tent?
Because he had nothing left.
Okay.
He was living in his store and living in his tent. He had gambled away the entire kid's college fund. Like, his whole life had fallen apart. His family had thrown him out of the house. But weird shit happens when people get in over their heads.
Yeah, they really do.
It's like when you're the type of person that gets involved in that, thinking you're going to get rich. A lot of people who do that don't sit there going, okay, let's logically think about this. What's the next step? Where are we going to go? They just go, no, if I do this, I'll fix it. If I do this, I'll fix it. And they just keep digging and digging and digging.
The worst part of that, too, is that Tony, you could see, liked this guy and was trying to stop him from going in. Like, this game's not for you.
Yeah.
He was trying to save the guy.
Yeah.
So when the guy finally started losing, too bad, man, you got to pay.
Yeah, it's the rule. Yeah, we can't be like, it's okay because you're my friend, because then that's destroys the whole business.
I still remember that one line when he gave which was kind of shitty of him to give the kid's truck to Meadow.
Yeah.
He made a wager and he lost. That's how it goes down. Don't make a wager.
No, it's honest money.
Fucking gambling, dude.
That was so funny.
So scary.
He gave Meadow's friend's truck. And Meadow just looks up. Remember there's that thing dangling off the mirror still? And she knows it's the exact same truck. Ugh.
Such a scary thing. Just all your shit gone.
Yeah. And what are you
cards.
And what are you going to do? What are you going to do? But that's what happens. People, if I had to guess in this one, that's what I would think it would be. Something where they got in over their heads. I don't even necessarily think
Maybe they
it's
opened a ceiling fan store?
over their heads.
Come on.
No, I don't think that's what it was. Let's go to Alex in
Because you're a
California.
real sucker up C.
Morning, guys. How we doing?
What?
Hi, Alex.
What?
What?
Nothing.
So,
All right.
up here,
Go on, Alex.
I live right one town down, like 5 minutes away where she was picked up, and we live in the Emerald Triangle, Shasta, Tehama, and Trinity counties, and this is where the biggest amount of pot is grown on west of or north of Mexico, and we've had a problem with Mexican cartel coming up and setting up illegal grow operations up in the woods. And it could be something to do with wanting them to traffic stuff back down to Southern California, and they backed out. Because there is thousands and thousands of pounds of pot grown up here.
Are people still getting kidnapped for pot?
Maybe it was money. Maybe the money for the pot, or maybe it was coke or something. That's right. Maybe it was a cartel thing where, hey, let us do this with yours, or we'll use your land or something.
Yeah.
You have 3 weeks to get us this money, and maybe they kept her.
Oh, can you imagine? The husband must have pitched it to her like, oh, we're guaranteed to get rich here. Like, this is going to be a great investment. Look, we'll just let him use the land or whatever it is. We're going to get in on this. And then he couldn't pay back.
And they might have said, look, you can go to the police and we'll cut her head off. And you know they will do it.
Of course they will.
Yeah.
Plus,
And see, I have what's called a 215 out here, so I can grow 6 plants a year legally. And every season I make probably close to about 12 grand legally.
Smoke of bloods.
Yeah, on 6 plants. And I don't even smoke. It's just extra money every year. So you take 6 plants that can make 12 grand and you do an illegal grow where you're making
so what are the
you're growing
cartels?
30, 40.
The cartels have what, a couple dozen plants?
No, they're running like 150 to 300 plant illegal grow operations.
Is that all?
And you'll find water pumps. Like during October, nobody goes hiking up here. Nobody goes out camping because it's the end of grow season, and that's when everybody gets shot. That's when people disappear. And about the time she got picked up
go ahead.
is right around the time after everything's dried, it's trimmed, it's packaged, and it's ready to move.
Oh, wait, so why did she get kidnapped there? Because that's when they're using the route? I don't get it.
Yeah, because hikers don't just disappear for no reason just because they show up there, do they?
If it's an illegal operation, like you'll go out like these, there's a lot of service roads. It's very rural up here. And you can go motorcycle riding, but you'll see like garden hoses and stuff running across like fire roads. And if you see that, you turn and run. You just get the hell out of there because what they're doing is they're using gasoline-powered surf pumps and pulling water up from creeks up into the woods. I mean, and there's people living in tents up there that are armed at all times.
And they just don't want anybody to see. Nobody who's unauthorized needs to be anywhere around them.
You'll see these like old U-Haul vans like that are from like the 70s and 80s. Full of people show up to Walmart and they're buying pallets of water, garden hoses, they're buying tents and sleeping bags.
That's even more suspicious, to tell you the truth.
Why don't the cops, if you know this, why don't the cops just hang out up there?
the DEA's up here every October. It's helicopter. We call it helicopter season.
Okay.
They're flying over, and what they use is infrared, and they scan people's houses for indoor grow operations. I mean,
Do they really? Wow.
Oh, yeah. It's massive up here.
Well, pot, first of all, I don't think that you're being kidnapped because you're jogging past a pot tent.
Well, that's what I was going to say.
There's something more to that.
If they're killing people, if they're killing people who come across them, hang on, if they're killing people who come across them, then they would have just killed her. The fact that they didn't kill her, I think, means that if it's has to do with anything like that, I would think that there's some kind of involvement.
There might be some kind of monetary involvement.
Look at them. There's like the hallmark card of like middle class white family. If you get them in a van with their kids and you've got 300, 400 pounds of pot that you're trying to move down to like L.A. to get, or down to San Diego to get near the water, I mean, who's going to stop them at a checkpoint?
Did you just watch that Jason Sudeikis movie? Is that why you suggested that? Did you just watch?
Oh, no, that's
literally the plot of We're the Millers.
Yeah. Yeah, but
maybe they would move. Maybe they would move it, but not over a border. I bet that there's people who just move it in the country and say we're not going near the border. Like
Absolutely,
because Mexicans are probably more suspicious in L.A. if they're looking for drug dealers, or they'll probably pull over a Mexican guy before they'll pull over just a white family.
Especially if they're like illegal or whatever it is. Like it's way too big of a risk to get pulled over for anything. Thanks, buddy.
All right, have a good one, guys.
All right, I'll talk to you later. It's just so crazy, though, because they probably did just think it was a good way to make some quick money, and they got in over their heads. That, to me, makes me panic more than most things, because you can see the psychology behind it. Like, it's just one decision that kind of goes bad, and to make up for it, you make another decision, and you just go down this road where you cannot get out of it.
Dude, I've watched too many of these. Locked up overseas, locked up abroad, caught in another nation, whatever the fuck they're called. You can't make these decisions anymore. Like, you maybe in 1990, but now that all these shows are out and you know it's going to end badly, you can't do it. You're going to get caught.
But you convince yourself, like, no, this is really easy, and I think I can just... Most people don't get caught. So I feel like if I just go real quick and do it, or even, they'll get on a plane. I think I can just make the trip, just get this done real quick, and I'm going to come out like, this is going to be my year.
Or it may have been something totally different, like just a random kidnapping for money.
Sure, could have been.
Every time something like this happens, I just think of Fargo and how easy it is to just...
It's the best.
Yeah.
It's the best. That to me is why I watched Fargo over the weekend, and you forget, like, the sheer amount of unnecessary everything. The entire movie
Oh, you saw the movie, yeah.
is unnecessary. Like, there is not one bad thing that happens in that movie that had any reason for happening. It was just bad decision after bad decision
One
after bad
panicky,
decision.
terrible decision.
Yeah.
And then the person who wins is the one that just does it by the book and just does it slow and steady. Fucking,
Yep.
The cops just kind of, check, cross your T's, dot your I, that little annoying shit. And it turns out that was the way to do it.
When William H. Macy goes to Shep in the shop, and he's asking if Shep has another number for Steve Buscemi, and he goes, nope. And it's just like, that's the moment where you're like, wait, things have changed. And one meeting that you had in a bar, and that's where the movie begins, that one meeting, you cannot take back this meeting, and this whole chain of events is going to happen where everybody gets destroyed because of it. And that's why the series was so good, both seasons of it, because it's like you're going over whatever it was, 10, 13 episodes, and it's the same thing of just watching these bad decisions get made.
Yeah. I've made bad decisions, but never that bad.
So stupid. Marcus in Philadelphia. What's up, Marcus?
Hey, guys, how are you?
Hello,
How are you
Marcus.
today? So I am currently experiencing one of my good friends is living like an epic American downfall. Long story short, he got incredibly successful. Like, I'm talking, he'd call me on a Thursday and say, hey, let's take a Gulfstream to Vegas for the weekend. He was printing money, basically. And
Ooh, this guy prints money.
Not literally, but did you ask him? Did you ask him, like,
yeah.
where it was coming from? Like, is he a guy who's been rich for a long time, or just all of a sudden he was like, look, I've come into something?
He's a brilliant guy and was very good at running businesses and selling them. And so it got to his ego. So he'd make $5 million. Well, now I want to make it 10. Now I want to make it 40. His net worth was in excess of $100 million.
There's like a really weird line between being driven and really hard to satisfy and being a greedy psychopath. Like,
Yeah.
you crossed that line at one point, right?
Yeah, here's the thing. We don't know when it happened or
Right.
if it truly ever really happened. I just think he was like a king and a god. I don't want to disclose anything because it's still kind of active, but he was caught by the feds. His life is crumbling down. He has 2 kids. They're both super young. His homes, he's got like a $15 million home. Everything came crashing down.
But how
Is it all illegal business?
I don't want to. It's still active. I don't want to disclose it.
All
Well,
right,
so we don't even know who you are or where you live. I'm just saying, is it illegal or legal business?
Marcus
no,
in
but
Philly.
It was not an illegal business. No, it's not drugs or anything. It's white collar crime.
Okay.
All right, so your friend Bernie Madoff is sitting there, and he's going through...
It's a Ponzi scheme.
It is. It was a
not a
Ponzi
Ponzi.
scheme. But, like,
was not a
doesn't the guy's wife... I always wonder that. Doesn't the guy's wife see all this stuff happening and
course
start
they
to
do.
ask questions?
Don't give me the babe in the wood routine, Camille. Don't give me the babe in the wood routine, Dottie. All these wives of guys doing shitty stuff act like they don't know what's going on.
Yeah.
No,
Stop
they really didn't, though. They really did. It was a slow, methodical burn. Like I said, he's a brilliant guy. He came from a middle-class family.
Yeah, but you
And it
have
went
to
from-
know, like, everybody, if you're an adult, the kids, it's different. But if you're an adult, you have to know where your partner's money is coming from.
But then again, he's saying if you're making like $6 million a year, or say $3 million a year in a legit business, then all of a sudden you're making $12 million a year or $9 million a year. If you're not checking everything, you might not even notice. Or your husband may just get bonuses. You may go, oh, okay, this is just the perks of the job. He makes bonus, and it may be easy to overlook that he's making a lot of extra money. Right or wrong, sir? Right, Marcus? Good point, Jim. Huh?
100%, James.
You're on the money today, Jimbo.
I really am on the money with Jim and Sam.
But guys, it's tragic. It's unbelievably tragic. I mean, to think that you're sitting on a Gulf Stream and then a month later you're in a jail cell. Your ego gets to you, man. It's a terrifying thing. And
yeah, you can't be greedy, man. You can't make tremendously terrible decisions. We've all done dumb shit for money, but if it's going to get you put in jail, you just got to not do it.
But it's such a weird mentality. Like, I can't relate to it. Like, anytime anything good happens to me that I've actually earned or deserve or is legitimate, all I'm doing is sitting there thinking about, when is this going to end, and when are they going to find out I don't deserve this? Like, I can't enjoy anything because I'm waiting for the rug to get pulled out from under me.
Yeah, and that's a good. It's like when does this terror of the other shoe dropping go away?
Yeah, especially when the other shoe should drop. Especially when you're doing something that you've gone this far illegally, or that the other shoe could drop, and everything could be over.
Especially when it's not a shoe, when it's an axe, when it's a Mexican guy holding it.
When's the other head gonna drop?
How do you steal from a cartel? Like, what are you doing in life that you're dipping into the till of a cartel? Like, how? If there's one group of people that has been really good with PR and getting the message out,
yeah,
it's the cartels.
Ask baggy hands over there. Ask Ziploc hands.
Yeah, hey,
if stealing is a good idea.
Hey, elevator with the elbows for the rest of your life. Would you think that was a smart move?
People convince themselves that they're smart. People convince themselves that they're geniuses.
Hey, talk texting. Do you think that you should have done that?
Yeah. Thank God that Siri just responds and I don't have to do the touch thing on my iPhone.
I mean, and they were moaning too. They were in a tremendous amount of pain.
Ugh. Yeah, people think they're smart. People convince themselves that they're smart and that they've outsmarted this system and that they've outsmarted cartels, whatever it is, and they're going to be able to just get in and get out with their take. And they're too smart to get caught or busted or whatever.
Dude, I'm literally too paranoid to even cheat on taxes. It just scares me. The idea, like, it's not the money you spend.
I wish, honestly, like, I wish you were more stupid than you are paranoid, and it just said, dude, like, I cheat on my taxes, but beyond that.
No, it scares me, man. I mean, my accountant is, I'm like conservative with stuff. Like, it's frightening because the money you save or the money you steal, you're going to get caught. It's like,
yes.
And even if you don't, an extra, what, 20,000, whatever it is you save a year, maybe it's more for some. What are you going to do with that money that you're going to enjoy if you're fucking constantly scared you're going to get caught and go to jail?
Right.
It's stupid.
Plus, it's that downward spiral, because once you convince yourself it's okay to steal that, you're going to steal a little more next year and a little more next year.
It's fucking crazy.
And when they come for you, they're not coming for the one thing that they catch you on. They're going to find the whole trail.
You were going to say shebang, but you rethought it.
I didn't say, no, I wasn't going to say shebang. The word shebang.
I want to draw something on your forehead.
What do you want to draw?
Big penis.
The word shebang never entered my mind.
Well, Cool J came out with Radio, which was such a good song years ago. It really was part of the hip-hop revolution.
Why does Ted Scheckler keep talking about 80s hip-hop?
He's not.
He's interrupted me 3 times now to mention some 80s hip-hop trivia.
No, he hasn't.
Ed in Boston.
Can't live without my radio. It was 1985.
Morning, gentlemen.
My radio.
Just ignore it, Sam. If you ignore it, it's not
Morning,
there.
gentlemen.
But it's a guy with a weird voice talking about 80s hip-hop trivia. We're not even talking about that.
Ted Scheckler.
It's not Ted.
Oh.
I don't remember who the fuck this guy is. I don't remember what this guy's name is. I don't remember. What's his name?
Who's on the phone?
I don't remember what this guy's name is.
It's Craig.
Oh, fuck. I forgot. I should have taken a second to shinkle about it.
Yeah, you should. Sick about it.
I forgot.
Oh, can't live without my radio.
What? Ed in Boston.
Because you're not woke.
Stop.
Morning, gentlemen.
No, Craig's woke.
Craig just said woke.
Hey, buddy.
Oh, save me.
Hey, guys.
Hey.
So I saw a report yesterday with that jogger that a girl about 20 years ago when she was in high school, this girl, another attractive blonde girl, got abducted from the same trail in the same area.
and she knew her. She was friends with her sister. But that girl was never found again.
Yeah, it was similar to that old case. So what do you think, that it was faked because of that, or just a similar area where that stuff happens?
I don't know. It just could be one of those, you don't know if it's a copycat or if she's trying to, do some kind of similar thing for attention. It could be, because they said the husband's still a suspect.
Oh, like the husband could have kicked the shit out of her for 3 weeks?
Yeah. Maybe
yeah.
some kind of weird.
It's really weird. It's really weird. Thanks, Ed.
Oh, maybe they were trying to get some kind of ransom or something together?
Yeah. Yeah. Or it was the book thing, like everybody theorized in the beginning. I don't know. There's more than meets the eye here.
Ugh. I wish it was a fist.
A fist meets the eye. Thomas in Edmonton. What's up, dude?
Hey, Sam. Hey, Jim.
Hi, Thomas.
So I was in L.A. last week, and I went to a bar, and Scorch was bartending there.
How do you know it was really Scorch?
He had the voice, the piercings. I talked to him all night. It was definitely
a martini. I Guinness World Record. The movie Cocktail was based on my life. Like, Scorch, you just started bartending. Not really. I actually got Tom Cruise into it. Go on.
I asked him if he was about PFG TV, and he said he was going to be starting a new season specifically for YouTube.
Mm-hmm.
I asked him if he'd ever have Jim Norton on, and he told me he didn't know who Jim Norton was.
Good for him. I don't blame him.
Did he say it like in a passive-aggressive way, or was he really trying to pass off that he had never heard the name?
I think he was actually serious.
Yeah. Because that's a Scorch thing to do. Like, he's like, yeah, you know what I'm going to do? I'm going to pretend I'd never heard of these guys. I'm not going to acknowledge them. I'm not going to lower myself to their standards. That's great. But you spent all night with him?
Yeah, it wasn't busy, so I had all night to talk with him. I asked him about you and your Syracuse days.
Yeah.
And he told me that Opie is raising Bam Margera's kids.
Okay.
Now, why would Scorch say that, Thomas?
I find it very difficult to believe that
Scorch would say that. I do believe that he wouldn't know who I am.
Yeah. Well, he knows who you are. I believe that he said he didn't know who you were, but that last part was probably made up.
Made up by the caller.
I think so.
To be controversial.
That's right.
So I'm looking, by the way, at this Tara Smith. She was
the one that was abducted before?
How fucking horrible. These stories where people go missing.
And they're
it's
just
so
gone.
terrible.
Yeah.
It's terrible. Like, to go jogging and then no one ever sees you again. Like, ugh. Like, if you're going to rape and kill somebody, as bad as that is, it's terrible. Can you at least let the family know they're dead?
Yeah, tip somebody off to it. Tip somebody off to it. Because otherwise because there's always that thing, I'm sure, with families, like, there's never closure. There's always that thing of maybe I'll see them. I know they'll be much older, but maybe they'll come to the door. Because there's always that case, right? Like, 1 out of every million of these things, somebody shows up decades later and is at the door. And, like, that's the worst part, is having to live with hope that something's going to happen, because it's probably not.
Yeah, and like that father, we talked about this recently, but that father, it's Massachusetts or Maine or somewhere, who his daughter just had a fender bender or something, a single car accident, and then gets out of the car and she's never seen again. And the father just keeps going up there. He's so tortured by this. It's such a terrible story. Like, the dad in fucking Staten Island, like, this poor guy he would jog with his 30-year-old daughter. She was so pretty, and
right.
the one day he can't because he has a bad back, he has an injury. She's fucking raped and murdered. I mean, there's no good part of it, but at least he knows that she's dead. Like, you're not wondering, will she come home?
There was closure.
Terrible closure, but I think people would all rather know than not know.
Yeah, definitely.
That's fucking stinks, man.
Yeah, definitely, because otherwise you're just going to dedicate your life.
Maura Murray, I think.
You could do it constructively, like, John Walsh. He did it constructively. He actually turned it into a thing. But it's tough, man.
His book was horrifying.
John Walsh's book?
Yeah, it was really good. But Tears of Rage, it was called.
Yeah.
Very good.
I thought he had tears of rage after we interviewed him.
No, he just felt tears of pity for an idiotic person.
Was it you or me?
Oh, it wasn't me.
Okay.
No, I was the codependent covering up for a drunk husband. Oh, no, he meant to say.
That was embarrassing.
Yeah.
Frank in the Bronx.
Oh, Frank was better. Frank Lopez.
Hey,
Frank.
What's up, boys? Love the show as usual. But
Thank
real
you.
quick, I think the only two people knew who knew about that girl that disappeared 20 years ago was this guy and the wife. So I think the guy did it to the young kid, and the wife's the only person that knew that he murdered her. Now, his wife was going to come out and rat him, and he decided to teach her a lesson and put her out there and say, look, you're just as close as this. And I think he's been doing business with the cartels for quite a long time.
I disagree with the first point. I mean, they may have been some kind of shady operation, but you don't torture your own wife for 3 weeks in the woods, sir.
You can always count on Frank for a theory that's the least far-fetched. Like you can always count on Frank for not inventing like 80% of the details in his head with the theory.
And I wonder if Uncle Paul would follow you to those kids' classes. I was just wondering.
I think he already made it very clear that he would love to attend.
Yeah.
And I just wonder, Jimmy, isn't it great that you're able to do your your different characters and not have a blonde guy looking at you and saying, "Oh, come on, man, come on."
Come on, Frank, come on.
Happy as shit.
I will say this. It is nice to be able to do Uncle Paul. The other characters, I hope he didn't care about. He didn't. But Uncle Paul, he had an issue with.
I hope you don't mind people.
So I enjoy doing Uncle Paul very much.
Confronting characters, because I'm going to do everything in my power to make sure that Craig Schenkel is not heard on this show ever again.
Yeah, but you know that he's going to be heard now a lot more.
You think so?
Yeah.
Oh, he bugs me.
Yeah, I know he does.
Why is he giving 80s hip-hop
Because
trivia?
he likes rap.
No, he doesn't.
He does.
He's talking about LL Cool J.
LL Cool J put out radio because he was changing, like revolutionizing. And this hip hop was so different back then. Guys like Kubo D.
Breathe out of your mouth. Out of your mouth. It doesn't. You don't. You're talking out of your nose.
He said, "I can't live without my radio. My radio, believe me, I like it loud." It was like old rap lyrics about like stuff like the radio.
A lot's happened since then.
About like music being loud and stuff in the urban community.
Do you think people are going to like Craig discussing hip-hop?
No, it's the fucking worst. It's the worst. It's not interesting. And it's all like the hip-hop anecdotes that you have in your head from the time that you were a kid and wearing fucking Kangol hats, which makes it even worse.
That's right.
That you were sitting there like really studying up on all this stuff.
I was never a huge LL Cool J fan, if you want the truth, but I do think Radio is a good song. Thank you.
Yeah, no, I didn't want the truth. I didn't care.
I know, but I'm just that's not necessarily for you. I'm talking to you, but I'm really talking to the listeners.
Oh, I see.
I can't live without my radio. I can't.
Sick baby, you like Craig Schenkel?
Yes and no.
Yeah, because you're not funky fresh.
Did you just say fucky fresh?
Funky fresh. It's not funky fresh.
Oh. I'm sorry to hear that. I didn't realize that.
Yeah, don't be such a sucker on my jock.
What? Sucker on your jock?
Yep.
You fucking suck. The worst.
You don't like Craig?
It's terrible.
Yeah.
Craig's really bad.
I figured you'd be bothered by that one.
Yeah. No, that was a bad one. And a really, really crummy angle to take.
Crummy is such a good word.
Really crummy angle to take. With the whole hip-hop trivia from the 80s. Yep,
there's a lot of hip-hop talk. Well, Craig's a hip-hop guy. He likes it, and he likes the lyrics.
He doesn't like it. He likes it from 30 years ago.
He likes new hip-hop.
What is Drake?
You like Drake. What's your favorite Drake song?
The thing about, like, I was started at the bottom, but now I'm here.
Okay, good. The one from 5 years ago.
And the video was kind of cool. They're in the song, they're like buying something with the clerk.
It's super cool. Yeah, the one from years ago. Not anything that came out in the last...
Kanye West, I got a pair of Yeezys I want to get.
You don't have a pair of Yeezys.
Because I'm woke.
That word has never been as irritating as it is. And it's an irritating word. It's never been as irritating as it is coming out of your mouth. Never been that irritating.
I was watching, by the way, and then I haven't seen the end of it. But I started watching this special on the John Bonet kidnapping just because they interviewed Burke recently, like a few months ago.
Was it the CBS thing that they put on? The really long one? With all the investigators in the room and everything?
Yeah, they're doing it. They're just trying to make it interesting because it's old news, a lot of it. But I think they're being very, very thorough.
Have you gotten to the part where...
Don't tell me.
Have you gotten to the part...
Don't tell me. No, I'm probably about a half hour into the first one. It was getting late.
Oh.
And it is interesting. I haven't gotten through it. Was it 2 parts?
Yes. Yeah, it's 2 long parts. I think it's 2 2-hour parts.
Okay.
And they definitely... Burke's suing over it.
I know he is.
He's suing at least one of the people involved in that show. Because they really did... I mean, it was pretty clear who they thought their suspect was. To the point where, like, at one point on that show, on the John Bonet thing, they wanted to show that a child like Burke could have done this. So they got like a fake mannequin head and skull thing because, she had head trauma.
Yeah.
and I think they put a wig on it, if I remember correctly, and they had a kid hit it with a fucking hammer. Like,
by the way, what kind of fun audition is that for a child actor? We need you to hit this little doll with a fucking hammer in the head.
But they did it like it was like a scientific examination. They're like, hey, kid.
They do that with the Kennedy assassination too. They fucking shoot into a watermelon or into something that might simulate.
They don't have kids. Like
that's fine.
If a kid's like, hey, by the way, why am I hitting this head-shaped thing with a hammer? Oh, because that's what happened to a little girl.
Yeah, but I don't know if he did it or not. But I tend to think so. But again, it's just because the evidence kind of they're doing stuff like having forensic analysis and these people who are behavioral people, FBI profilers, going over the note, like really smart people. This is something that women normally say, and that note from day one, everybody knew was shit.
Of course,
a foreign faction mentioning his bonus, and the woman on the show goes, "He's a millionaire. Why wouldn't they ask for more money? They would ask for $118,000." So that's the mother probably fucking. Again, I'm guessing. It sounds like that's the mother panicking when they realize their firstborn may have done something, because maybe there was a little issue there, maybe not. I don't know. I'm guessing.
It's a 3-page note,
but maybe he does something he shouldn't do because there's maybe mental problems and had a history of it, and then maybe the mother can't bear to lose both kids.
There is an explanation behind it, and you'll see as you watch it. But it's a 3-page ransom note.
It's nonsense.
They try
when the kid's in the house, dead.
They transcribe it, right? And it takes 25 minutes just to transcribe. Like, there's no way you kill a kid and then you just hang out in the house for a half hour so you can put together a poorly written ransom note that sounds like you watched 2 movies and put together how a kidnapper is supposed to sound.
Well, then obviously the thing was, because it was written on her notebook.
It was written in her notebook that they got in her house.
They could have written it before they killed the kid, but...
What, while the kid's just there? Why would you hang out in the house?
Again, of course not.
Makes no sense. And you're right. The language of the thing, they call themselves a foreign faction, but sometimes they're asking for money. Sometimes their motivation is this. There's like 3 or 4 different motivations within the ransom note.
And it's funny, if that's the case...
And the ransom, like you said, that's so low, it's literally the exact amount of...
his bonus.
Of the dad's bonus.
And you have to say carefully, but you're allowed to speculate. My personal opinion is that it was the brother, but it's just an opinion because of the way it reads so far.
Yeah.
And I kind of get why the family would do this. Like, if this is what happened, and I keep saying if, but you got to cover yourself because
of course
somebody is suing.
Yeah.
But if that's what's happening, I get why they would do it. I don't even think they're bad people for doing it. I think that if your son has something wrong with him, and he fucking does something terrible and your daughter dies, and you've lost that, and your firstborn you're going to lose too, you're like, what do you do as parents? Maybe they just panicked and freaked out. I don't know.
Yeah.
I don't think they're pieces of shit, though, if that's what happened.
You could see emotionally where that decision would be made, is what you're saying.
And then again, I wouldn't think at this point he should go to jail either if he was a disturbed 9-year-old and did something stupid to his 6-year-old sister or whatever.
Yeah, but you can't not do anything. Like, if you were to find... First of all, he
would never go to jail. Even if he confessed to it, he wouldn't go to jail.
They're never going to figure it out because the thing that you really get from that, and every JonBenet thing they've explained, is... what a shitty job the cops did on it.
Horrendous.
Like, it was the worst examined murder case that was that public.
Absolutely terrible.
Ever. They did a horrendous job. They fucked up all the evidence. They contaminated everything. They had everybody walking around the crime scene. They didn't interview the parents until days after.
Wasn't there a couple people that have worked for the family or whatever? I mean, I know we're talking about JonBenet 20 years later, but it is a big one because of the mystery of it.
Yeah. If FX...
snow outside, no fucking footprint.
Not only is there no... Wait till you get to the window part, where they're like, the window's broken, right? And they're like, somebody came in through that broken window. But there's a cobweb on the window.
Yeah, I remember that.
Right? And so the cobweb wasn't broken, and the window had been broken for weeks.
Yeah, it's
so it wasn't that. And you're right, it's 25 years ago, but if FX did like what they did for OJ with the JonBenet case, people would go gaga for it.
But you do need a killer.
Yeah, exactly.
You do need something.
Some kind of hook.
And I don't think the dad did it. I don't think the mother would have helped cover it up like that. It just doesn't make sense.
No.
The dad did it. He had another daughter die in a car accident. Like, it just doesn't make sense that the mother did it.
And the fact that he had a daughter die in a car accident is like, okay, I lost my first daughter, I lost JonBenet. You know?
Right, now my other son, maybe. That's true.
And that's, again, just the speculation. But if that were the scenario, you could, again, see the motivation for wanting
The
to keep
family
the kid.
panicking and just protecting the kid. Like, he's disturbed. He can't help it.
Although they were reaching a little bit when they start going through that audio tape. Did you hear that?
I did, yeah. And again, they don't. It does make some kind of sense. But even, again, the 911 operator, this is the first time she's ever been interviewed.
Yeah.
But again, she didn't have much to add. But I kind of believe her, but I also think that 20 years later, they may tell you before you shoot, this is what we think we heard on the tape, listen to it, and then they interview her. I don't know.
They do a good job of backing up the case, but the show was obviously skewed to
very much
to prove
that Burke did it.
Yeah, their theory behind it. And then it really didn't help him that in order to prove his innocence, he goes on Dr. Phil. And he's fucking got a Cheshire cat grin on his face the whole time.
He's one of those people. There's a show called Scared Straight, which so many of us saw. Again, this is way after your gen. But when I was young and they showed Scared Straight, you couldn't believe the fucking fact that you were hearing motherfucker on network television.
And that still exists because I remember when I was a kid, they re-aired that same special on UPN. And even then, like I just turned it on and didn't even know it was coming on. And even then, I couldn't believe what they were airing.
It was shocking to hear in the 70s.
Yes.
And one of the kids, I remember everyone hated him because he had one of those faces that always looked like he was grinning. And one of the guys picked up a stick and said, I'll knock the motherfucking... he was going to smack him in the mouth with a sneaker. He was so mad. He told him to stop smiling. Close your mouth. And he could close his mouth. But he had one of those looks that always looks like a smart-ass look. But he just had that kind of face. And I think that's what his face did when he got nervous.
Yeah.
So some people just have that fucking stupid... I'm smiling, smirking look. That's got to be the worst. Like, I actually feel bad for Burke. If you're nervous and you get a dumb smirk.
You just smile the whole time?
But because you're not happy, you're just panicking, and that's what your face does?
Yeah.
Ugh. Everyone that yells at you, they think you're being a cunt.
Yeah. I'm really bad about, like, I don't smile when I'm nervous, but I'm really bad about remembering things at inappropriate times. Like if somebody's trying to tell me something serious.
Like when you're having sex, you'll remember, oh, this is a man.
It's not the scenario I was thinking of. But I'm really bad about, like if somebody's telling me something serious, something
You'll
funny.
think XM.
Okay, never mind. Never. I was going to say something funny creeps into my head.
Oh, yeah, of course.
And you just start like kind of giggling and they're like, what the fuck are you laughing at? What are you laughing at? Like there were so many scenarios after that Gary Busey thing, that day that Gary Busey was in with Negan, there were many scenarios that day where I had to keep a straight face and I kept thinking about Gary Busey farting.
Yeah.
And like, you can't.
See, look at his smirk. By the way, was the father wasn't with him there, was he?
No.
Okay, look at his smirk. I don't think
Burke Ramsey's.
He's not being smug there or a cock.
No.
I think that, look, I have no reason to guess that there's something wrong with him other than the fact that...
But it's a weird nervous energy for sure.
It's a weird nervous energy.
And it's not a I'm so sad about this thing that happened to my family energy. It's a weird nervous energy, not a weird sad energy.
Yeah, but I don't think he was smirking though. Like I don't believe he was smirking.
No, but just the fact that there was a nervous energy about him is like a little suspicious. You know what I mean? Like if I'm getting
hasn't he never been interviewed publicly before?
I don't know about that. I don't know. But if I'm getting interviewed about something like that, I'm probably not going to have a nervous energy about me. I'm going to have a sad energy. Like, oh, this is a bummer to talk about. I remember when my sister was alive. She's dead now. Not nervous. Like, I don't want to say the wrong thing. He was a little weirdo of a kid, too.
Yeah, he looked like a strange kid.
He was. Keep watching that special, and you'll see he was a weirdo. It doesn't mean anything, but he was definitely a weirdo. We should take a break because Matt Iseman's here.
Okay.
Matt Iseman is the host of American Ninja Warrior, and he's going to be on Celebrity Apprentice. I'd be bummed if I was on Celebrity Apprentice this season.
So would everyone watching it.
That's not what I was thinking of.
They want celebrities.
I'd be bummed that I wasn't hanging out with Donald Trump.
Oh, right.
You know what I mean?
Schwarzenegger's fucking
It's going to be awesome.
Pretty awesome.
Yeah.
What are you going to go terminating everything or something? Oh, look, it's the governor. You can have laughs.
Do you think he'll say that? You're terminated.
Oh, I hope so.
Would you like that?
I certainly would.
I bet he does because they're purposely keeping his catchphrase out of promotion. And you being honest about it, they're saying we're not revealing what his catchphrase is.
Do you think it's you're terminated?
Absolutely.
You're terminated.
I just predatored you. What? That doesn't work at all.
Because you know what was really funny? Grandmaster Melly Mel was such a good rapper. He would kind of like take the social issues of the day and make them like a really, really poignant raps up about them and stuff. He was woke very, very long time ago.
What does that have to do with anything? And stop using the word. And what does that have to do with anything?
A lot. I'll be in Doylestown this weekend. The early shows are sold out. The late shows might be sold out. Somebody told me that they couldn't get tickets. Just try Friday, Saturday late shows. Maybe have seats, maybe not.
It's very exciting.
Yeah. And then I shoot the week after, and then I go to Tarrytown Music Hall, and I'm done for a while.
That's awesome.
I'm so happy to turn gigs down in January, February.
Yeah?
Yeah.
Must be nice.
You just get tired of fucking traveling. It's nice to like just stay home for a couple months and work on material.
Go to JimNorton.com for all those dates. And go to youtube.com/Jim and Sam Show. There's a lot. Sick Baby's been doing an amazing job of not only putting up a lot of content, but it's all really good too. The content on our YouTube channel is so good that Sick Baby has people from Sirius calling him up and asking him like, "Oh, how did Jim and Sam do their video? Like, how can we do that video like that?" And it's like you just hire somebody that knows what they're doing. It's not rocket science. You just hire a Sick Baby who knows what he's doing.
Yep. And we'll Matt and Iseman will be happy to take more calls. And I'll just be back soon.
We'll see you.
Yeah. He was asking me how to spell Craig Schenkel. And I'm like, I don't remember how to spell Schenkel. Craig was Cregg. And Schenkel, I don't remember.
SCH.
I don't know if it was or SH. I don't know.
Because it's like a Schenkel.
Yeah, but
Doesn't he have a Twitter account? Can't you just check?
Yeah, I don't have. No, Craig doesn't.
Oh, he doesn't? I thought he did.
Somebody else has it.
Craig is stuck in the past. He's not on social media. He likes hip-hop from the 80s.
Oh, maybe it is SCH Schenkel. No, it's Schenkel. Craig Schenkel. Where is it Schenkel? I don't remember.
I think it's with an E.
Craig Schenkel. Yeah, it's Schenkel. You're right. Schenkel Conundrum. SCHINKEL. Whatever. Who cares?
No one. Not one person.
It's real nonsense.
Let's bring Matt Iseman in here. Matt Iseman, the host of American Ninja Warrior. He's going to be on The Apprentice this season with our friend Carrie Keegan. We met her in L.A.
Yeah, I like Carrie.
Matt Iseman. Sick Baby letting you know. Wrong chair.
Wrong chair.
Wrong chair.
Dramatic entrance. You're talking about Carrie Keegan. You're a bigger fan of hers.
Well, I mean, she brings a little bit more to the table, right?
Yeah, she does.
Yeah.
She absolutely does. She really, I mean, she's breathtaking.
She has a great knack when you're talking to her for making you think that you have a shot, even though you don't.
Right.
She's really good at that.
That's all you want, right? The illusion.
The illusion I might have a shot.
You have a shot with her.
Yeah.
She's a phenomenal interviewer, I think, because of that.
Yeah, she's really fun. And
Put you at ease.
But how many DMs on Twitter is appropriate without a response? like when am I being creepy? Is it after 12?
Do you do that when someone follows you? Is it like, oh boy, now do I have permission to DM them?
It all depends on why. I've DM'd people, but it's like it depends on my relationship with them. Most people I don't, unless I have like a legit.
But like a lot of
question.
people I only know via Twitter. Like you feel like you know them, and then you kind of cross that threshold. And if you don't get,
you got to see, right? If you get the follow back, you got to see. You got to just send a message, be like, "Hey, thanks for the follow. Like I love blah blah blah."
I would never thank anyone for a follow.
Why?
Never.
No.
Because why? You don't
It's
thank
just
each other for following.
It's a conversation open.
I hated it when I got the automated ones. People used to do that. The automated "thank you for following."
Oh,
me,"
yeah.
which
Oh, no,
made
never.
you think it was real, and it was like, no, it's just a form,
Right.
Because I was excited when someone famous would follow me. Is that not close enough?
Yeah, no, I never.
Putting something in my mouth, Jimmy.
Sorry, it's just a lot darker than the one I have.
You're not thanking them. Really, you're just opening the conversation.
Well, they know it too.
But that's fine, though. They don't mind that there are certain things in conversation that you do.
It's not
She was just being polite.
Right.
It was. I'm big on Snapchat now.
No, you're not big on Snapchat.
Yes, I am.
No,
Are you
nobody
kidding
cares
me?
about you on
Yes,
Snapchat.
I am.
You're not relevant to the Snapchat crowd.
I'm Snapchatting right now. We're talking about Twitter. Matt Iseman. The whole gang is here. I'm fucking huge on Snapchat.
Travis, let me go to Travis Dog for comment on this.
It's not. Why are you doing that?
Does anybody say Snapchatting?
No. Nobody says Travis
Snap.
Dog either.
Didn't they go to Snap?
It's
they,
snapping.
They cut chat out.
Yeah, you just go like I'm snapping right now.
That was like when Pizza Hut tried to drop the Hut and just remember. Or
they were just the Hut.
Yeah, they called.
You can't. Or the Shack, Radio Shack.
Yeah,
did it too.
E-Rock the Hut. They tried a whole
Shack.
bunch.
They're like, we got wings too. We're just the Hut, baby. Come
Right,
and
just
come
the
and
Hut.
have lunch.
With the Hut.
No, we were coming to you for
No.
terrible pizza. That's all.
Don't give yourself a nickname.
We should get Jim a pair of
That's lame.
spectacles.
Snapchat spectacles.
Yeah, we should get.
I haven't seen anyone wearing those.
What are those?
Oh,
They're
Jim.
like a
People wait
GoPro
like 8
camera
hours
built
for them.
into the glasses.
How fucking awesome. I'd love that. I'd be snapping all day.
They're the next big thing.
Are they or no?
No, they look so stupid, but they're like sunglasses,
Right.
And they have a little camera lens on each eyeball or whatever they are, right above each lens, and you can snap with them.
Google Glass tried that, right? It failed miserably.
Failed miserably.
They really did flop on that, and I don't know why. I think people were getting their glasses broken because it's so invasive. Because people's people's lives were being uploaded,
right?
And I think that they started breaking people's Google glasses, and it probably wasn't where you needed to be for it to be a big seller.
I also feel like I don't want to have to charge it all the time.
No,
it needs to be just something you don't even think about.
And everybody thinks it's the future. People don't want that shit in their face all the time. Like you don't want a camera and
It's happening
glasses
now.
that the screen will come up on your face. People don't want it on their face. They want to be able to look at a screen and then put it down.
They just didn't do it yet. It's not there yet, but it will be. Like, especially when they can do like a tiny. You know how like Madonna will wear those fucking stupid little mics that you can hardly see.
The Broadway
When they
ones.
can do something like that goes in front of your face that's almost not visible, or there's things that only your eyes can read because of an iris scan or something. That
What do you
everyone
mean
will
things
have
that only your eye can read?
Is this future tech, Jimmy?
I love
people
it.
hate
It's
it.
my fucking favorite thing he does.
People hate Future Jimmy, but I'm not wrong. They will eventually
No,
have.
tell me.
They now have the thing where your iris, they read your eyes, right? Whatever it is they're reading.
Right.
That's an
The
identification.
retinal scanner?
Yeah, retinal scanner. Eventually, you'll be able to, maybe they'll have something where only that can see something. Like, so you'll be able to read things in public that no one else, because how else are you going to have any privacy maintained publicly?
Oh, that's interesting. So something that if Sam looked at it because his iris is different than yours, he wouldn't be able to read it.
He wouldn't
You're
be able
saying
to read it or
projected?
see it or watch it. Yeah.
That's interesting.
It really gives a new meaning
That's like geotagging. That's like if they look at your phone and they send you a message, it would be similar to that, but using biological.
Yeah, it's not crazy to think that they could do that. 'cause
It's for your eyes only.
Well, they're talking about
only for you.
I think they'll be able to do that. That way you can look at all your shit in public and not have to worry about everybody seeing your stuff.
No, here's what's going to happen. People are just going to give up on. First of all, they're not doing that. Second of all,
You don't think they'll do that?
No.
Why?
Because they haven't even
Why is that
hinted.
but retinal
that
scanning is now
technology.
being used. In my gym, they use it to get into the fucking executive locker room.
I know, but it's a very different thing.
What?
Like, retinal scanning.
Really?
Yeah. It's getting
What
to be.
gym are you at?
Well, David Barton. No, I'm kidding. It's an Equinox. They're using retinal scanning to get into the executive locker room.
Oh my god!
And eventually they'll use it for
A lot of
fucking,
bad bitches in the Equinox.
They'll use it for your fucking phone and for voting. Like, why not? Apparently it's better than fingerprint.
No,
right?
because that's but you're not talking about just like unlocking your phone with your retina. You're talking about a font that would just respond directly to your retina so that other people couldn't read it.
No, just like it's like a fingerprint. It will work like a fingerprint. Like when you use your fingerprint to open your phone, your fingerprint opens it and only your fingerprint. Now, obviously, anyone can see it, but don't think that after 10 years of technology, they can't make it where it can only be read by whatever retinal scan
They
is
already had
okay.
a phone that was doing. Amazon had one that was supposed to track your eye movements.
Oh,
They had
yeah,
the 4
and it
cameras in
kinda
it.
just goes
But-
with
but
you.
No one, I don't think anyone.
Yeah, it's not there
liked
yet.
it,
But
yeah.
that's not a crazy thing. I'm not saying anything. That's not crazy at all.
So the
It
retina,
is crazy, Jim.
Oh,
It
cut
is.
it out, Matt. What do I know? I'm just a boy.
your retina scan would unlock your glasses. Then is that what you're saying?
Meaning, like whatever is being, it's almost like having a projector on the wall, and if your retinal scan is approved, you can read it, but no other ones
But then
can
would
see
you
it.
fall over if you're walking around with the glasses on?
Maybe not with the glasses.
We haven't figured it all out. Sam.
Yeah,
He's not Mark Zuckerberg next to me.
You're looking for holes, but the bottom line is it's not incorrect.
I would love for Jim to get a job at Facebook.
Sam just keeps talking until he finds a flaw in it. He's
I know,
such
but
a
he's
shitster.
No, but he's not. He's stupid because that's actually correct. What
You
I'm saying.
just said
Right, it is correct.
that you would have things that only your eyes could read.
And let's just say
There's flaws in that.
to think that technology will be able to do that. There's not
No,
flaws in that.
you know what? I think he's right. I think at some point Jim and I could stare at the exact same thing and see two different things.
Because
they actually have a TV like that. They had a TV.
But doesn't that work on angles, not on
It was on
retinas?
angles,
Okay,
but I think-
but it's still something.
Right.
It's still something that's starting. Maybe they're
Different
not there
technology
yet.
altogether.
No.
Yeah, it is.
If they can do it where you can see something and I can't.
Well, think about it like radio waves. Right now, we're all being bombarded by all the same radio waves, right? It
Right.
depends what device you have pulling it in.
Right.
So theoretically, you have
So
a
your
contact
retina
lens.
becomes the
No,
device?
you have a contact lens or something that would interface with it, that would then manipulate the light that only using your retinal scan would identify. I don't
Sounds
know.
like you know
That's,
that
but I went to
technology
my limits
pretty
too.
well,
I used to be a doctor. That was it.
But
I don't know anymore.
that's not crazy.
That's not crazy.
You know, in Michikaka one time talked about everybody walking around with their fucking, like, you're going to have all your information.
Flowy.
Oh, that little cookie people. People pointed out, by the way, because he never remembers. I lived in a building with him for 10 years, and he never remembers.
The smartest man on the planet couldn't remember you.
He's the weirdest guy. You say hi to him, he's like, hi. Oh, he acts like I'm assaulting him. But he discussed at a TED Talk recently these glasses that will help you recognize faces, and he used the name Jim. And
essentially, he did a TED Talk over what you just described.
Yeah, and everybody was saying that it was.
He used the name Jim in the TED Talk?
Yeah, whatever it was, whatever talk it was.
Imagine a simple man named Jim.
Imagine a dummy who likes people of questionable gender bothering you in your own building. But people pointed out that he was probably talking about when he didn't remember me because he. But I don't think it was just. I think it was a coincidence.
I don't think so. I think that's exactly
you look
what
for the slight, though. He probably remembers you. He's just too busy.
Oh no, he didn't. No, he didn't.
No, he did not.
Probably no. You'd say hi to him, and he would act like a fucking. I was chasing him with a
You
brick.
did change a lot, though. You've lost a lot. You look.
Thank you, man.
You know, he'd mention like every time Dr. Kaku came on the show, he'd be like, "Yeah, we lived together," and he'd go, "Oh," and it would be this new information.
I'd see him on the elevator a week later. Morning, Dr. Kaku. Hi. Sneaks out like I'm a fucking like I'm a hammer rapist. Jesus, where you going?
I would absolutely love if you got a job as a consultant sitting in a boardroom at Facebook as like people are like pitching new technologies and you just use future Jimmy ideas. Of like, why don't we do something like this?
My crazy, stupid idea about color coding photos. So it can either be
stuck on that.
Of course, I'm stuck on that.
How does this work?
Okay, because everyone's getting hacked on the iCloud. Everyone gets fucking hacked, and there's a way all their personal photos. But we want to be able to exchange personal photos. So say you take a photo, there should be a way that you press it if you have the option turned on. If not, it all gets backed up. But there should be a way to keep certain photos only on your device so they are never uploaded to your iCloud. So if you ever get hacked, only your family vacation photos are getting taken and not the photo of you fucking your boyfriend or your girlfriend or whatever it is because it's only on your phone.
Yeah.
How fucking, that's not that crazy. That's not an insane
Well, they have
thing.
like hide photos, right? But yeah.
Those are things that you put in like things on your...
like I'm going to tell Jim something he doesn't know about hiding photos.
No,
but yeah, you're right. They absolutely should.
Could you do albums? Just be like, call this one private? And then don't
Call
sync
this
that
one,
album?
please don't hack this.
Maybe you can already do that.
Yeah.
Maybe you can already have a private album.
Yeah.
But I know that there's no way just to look at your photos and press it and have it be either it's going to get backed up to the cloud or it's not going to get backed up to the cloud.
Right. Right.
You know, I don't think that's.
I feel like they go with like the 90% rule where they really are just looking how to make it simple for 90% of the masses. And it's bulletproof, you know, like it does back up and
Right.
syncs to all the devices.
Well, that's the thing. Like, because
Although 90% of people probably do have photos that they don't want.
they probably don't even know they're
It
in
might
the
even
cloud.
be photos
like, they
of
don't
their
get
children. Yeah, it might be photos of your kids or whatever it is. You just don't want them.
You don't want it out
You don't
there.
want it hackable. You don't want people to be able to take it.
But they have to make it so simple. The reason Apple was successful with stuff before was because you wouldn't need instructions, right? Like, it wouldn't be like, here's what you do, and if you want this, and if you want that. That's why they never had any options for anything. It was like, this is the phone we make.
Right.
Do you want the big one or the little one?
They also didn't want to share technology. They also didn't play well with other companies, which is why fucking Windows trampled them because they were stupid for a long time and they wouldn't allow their stuff to be connected to other companies.
Yeah, but that turned out to be the right philosophy long term. I mean, that's...
No, it didn't. Windows is in 80% of the world's computers.
Yeah,
It's
but now
terrible.
they've destroyed everything in phones
I wonder if
with the same
computer people
technology.
listen to us and think, that was an astute summary. Windows, Apple.
They know that we're dopes,
Great.
but most people who use the phones know what we know. Most people are not tech experts. I know I'm not a tech expert. I just the shit that I would like.
I have to tell you something. A lot of people calling up to defend your retina theory.
Oh, I don't know about that.
No, it's true. Matt in Iowa.
Hey guys, what's going on?
Hi, Matt.
Hey, Sam, I don't think Jimmy's too far off there. If you think just not too long ago, I believe it was Starbucks that was doing things to recognize phones to pump different advertising to their phones.
Geotagging.
I can see this coming with what Jimmy's saying, where I think advertising would be what would drive it, so that they can specify advertising based on your eye.
So let me figure this out. Are you talking about glasses specifically, or are you talking about a projector that, like, could I be sitting in a room and be looking at a screen that, like, my wife wouldn't be able to see that screen?
Yes.
As I'm looking at it?
Yes.
But once it's there, I don't understand how it would be invisible to somebody else.
Okay, because Matt said it a lot smarter than I did. It'll be something to do with the light, and either your contact or your retinal, something is interfaced, and it's set up in a certain way where only you can read. It'd be like a foreign language to her. Maybe she would see it as jumbled. It'd be like saying if you project something onto the screen, you can hit a Google Translate button.
Yes.
Maybe the retinal scan will act as the Google Translate button and show you what the image is.
So this is what it'll be like. It'll be the new version of old school 3D, where Jess would look at the wall and just see like red and blue squiggly lines and not know, but I'd put my red and blue foil glasses on and I'd see exactly what we were looking at.
Yeah. I was born with a lazy eye. I've never seen 3D.
What?
Yeah.
Lazy eyes can't see 3D?
Yeah, because you need the stereo. You need the stereo.
But in real
vision,
life, you see 3D, right? But
I have depth. I mean, I assume I see depth.
That'd be so funny if he just saw everything like Roger Rabbit World.
Right?
Like,
I don't know.
I don't have great depth perception. I think that's why I was never a good baseball hitter.
So you can't see 3D in movies?
No, I have a sense of depth, but I could never get those. I could never get my eyes to train to work together for those. Where you'd see the. You remember that everyone would have that aha moment when the fly's wings would come off the page.
Yeah.
With this, I couldn't do it.
See, you're right. One of them lazy. I can't.
This one, it's this one will float up.
The left eye floats up.
If I start looking with. If I'm on camera, a lot of times they're like, you're looking over their eyes, and it's like I have a lazy eye. Yeah. And if I switch my eye dominance, I can't remember. Then this one just goes.
Does it affect your coordination?
I'm not that coordinated.
Because I was gonna say, like, to be born like with the size to be an athlete, but then
I was okay. I mean, I was a decent athlete, but not, I was never going to go pro.
Well, did you play baseball?
I played baseball in college. I was a pitcher, so I was the one throwing, which was easier. But if the ball was hit at me,
So National League would have been your goal.
Yeah, exactly. Yeah, look at this, Jimmy Baseball.
Oh no, wait, American League. Sorry.
DL.
You knew what I meant.
DL, yeah. I never hit. In college, we always had the DH, the designated hitter.
Were you a good pitcher?
I was okay. I mean, I played in college, but.
I had a good arm in the outfield, and I did well, so the coach thought I could pitch, so he put me in.
Yeah.
And I had a couple of, like, a good inning, and then I just, like, walked, like, 8 people in a row, and they yanked me out.
That's literally, I became like Mitch. I became, like, I lost my control in college, and, like, I still have the college record for walks at my school.
Do you really?
Yeah.
That happened.
That
happened
was a
to
proud moment.
Chet the Rocket Stedman. He was a great pitcher at one point for the Chicago Cubs, and then he lost it.
You just lose it.
You just lose it.
You lose it.
And
it's hard to find the plate.
Right? Hard to find the plate.
That's so cute. And then when you finally do find the plate, they fucking hit a triple.
Right?
Like,
Why am I throwing it at the plate?
Can't find the plate that accurately.
Gary Busey. What a good-looking man that was.
Yeah,
he's still holding up, I think.
For 72, he looks okay.
Wow.
What movie is that?
That's Rookie of the Year. He's Chet the Rocket Stedman.
Was a kid broke his arm and
that's right, Henry Rowan Gardner.
Yeah.
That's right.
That was how Sammy envisioned getting into the major leagues.
I thought it was going to happen for me. Every kid did, really. We were like, well, that
Jewish
could
kid breaking his arm.
That could happen.
Right.
Technically, medically, that could happen.
That would have been better for me.
No, couldn't. Huh?
What could happen?
If you break your arm, the tendons can heal in a weird way so that you develop a 100-mile-per-hour fastball.
Honestly, they say if you get Tommy John surgery now, your arm actually heals better. So some pitchers
that good though
are getting it well.
To be a small child and be able
they'll
to
get it prophylactically. They'll essentially get it anticipating they're going to blow out their elbow, so rather get it in their 20s and get it done, and then their arm will heal better.
What's the Tommy John surgery actually do?
They take part of the tendon. I think it's from the thigh, your ulnar collateral ligament. So this is where you put a lot of stress right here on the elbow from pitching. You'll often tear a ligament here.
And he's the inside of the elbow.
Inside of the elbow, right? And so they'll take a thicker tendon and replace it. So that was Tommy John was the first pitcher from the Mets who had
This is so funny. He wasn't really a hard pitcher either. He threw like a lot of fucking
a lot of it is mechanics, like how you depending on your mechanics, you can put more stress on your arm, and I guess he did and tore up that ligament.
Yeah,
Louis Tiant was always uncomfortable to watch.
Tiant, right?
He always looked like
Louis Tiant.
It's like he's going to fall on his fat face. Oh, no, it's a strike.
Or Valenzuela, that was the other one when he would turn.
Fernando Valenzuela.
He'd look away.
Oh, my God, the head.
Look away.
Could you show Fernando Valenzuela?
It was so disconcerting
The amount of I was never a wind up guy. Like I would stand there and I would do like a step back. I would almost throw like it was the night and there was a guy on first and I was trying to not, but I could never wind up. I would always step back and then kind of lunge in. I had horrible mechanics.
Right.
Horrible. Fucking terrible.
I wasn't that good at athletics growing up.
That's hard to imagine.
Did you ever play sports?
That's true. No. I'm not gonna. I wrestled for a season.
Did you?
I did. I wrestled for one season.
That's what he calls it. It was an older boy fucking him in the fort.
I went 0-13.
We all have our sports. Did you really?
Yeah, I went 0-13. I did the full season though.
Where's his wind up?
El Toro.
They're not showing his wind up.
Oh my God!
Did he have the weird wind up or was it TR?
The amount of cocaine that must have been going on in the dugout back then is amazing.
Yeah.
Well, listen, Matt Iseman, you are here.
I'm here
because is this Team Ninja Warrior College Madness? Is that
that's going on?
That's going on. So is American Ninja Warrior now franchised off to multiple shows?
We've got a spin-off show on the Esquire channel. It's like teams of 3 will compete. We build a course where they go head to head on the course simultaneously, and we got college kids coming out, and they're MIT. Was awesome. Revenge of the Nerds.
Really?
The whole time I was just going like, yes, Lamar's limp-wristed throwing style.
You made the limp javelin.
It was amazing. They were great. They've been badass. We had Wisconsin is coming out, USC and UCLA for people who like Ninja Warrior, or for people who like college.
Right. American Ninja Warrior is great because most people fail.
Everyone fails.
Well, except
Only
for like
2 people have ever gotten through the course.
Right.
Everyone else has fallen.
Right. And so it's like
we say you define success differently. People can be successful just getting on the course.
Yeah, I mean you could, but not that successful.
No,
like the 2 people are really very successful.
That's it.
The 2
and
people
really only
won.
one of them got money. So really only one person is successful.
How did the other person not get cash?
Because it was whoever was fastest up stage 4 got the $1 million. So one guy, the first guy gets up, thinks he's won $1 million. Then the other guy goes faster and takes that $1 million from him.
Oh, what
and
an
he had a little like 6-year-old girl who was just crying there. And we're like, sorry, honey. You're not going to college.
Right, you don't. But your dad's real good at ninja shit.
But he's the first Ninja Warrior. He's just not the first $1 million winner.
Right.
Yeah,
it's not going to happen.
We actually changed the rules the year after. Where now, if 2 people do it, we would split it. But it didn't help him. So I feel bad, Jeff Brady.
Yeah, because you're watching it.
Amazing.
Not expecting him to win.
No one ever got close. Then 2 guys do it. Oh my God.
Yeah. Then you'd be like, I didn't.
This is it. Yeah. So this is head to head. This is USC UCLA. And so they go head to head American Ninja Warrior action. If you like American Ninja Warrior, it's actually it totally changes the dynamic because now you're not just trying to get through the course, you're having to do it faster than someone, and so you see people just taking ridiculous risks.
I would have a problem with this because my cardio is not good. This would be very hard for me.
Oh, it's not good?
No.
Do you do Celebrity Ninja Warrior?
I can't say. I got in trouble for saying something about it. Stephen Amell Arrow
right, I saw
tweeted
that
the rumor that there may be a Celebrity Ninja Warrior, and I will say that is an interesting rumor.
Oh, did you get in trouble for tweeting that it's an interesting rumor?
No, I got in trouble for maybe saying more that it was more than just a rumor. Before I was supposed to say that it was more than just a rumor.
Wow.
So now I'm not saying that it's not just a rumor.
Have you ever thought about bringing like a Jim Norton on?
I would love to get Jim on the course.
Would you do Celebrity Ninja Warrior?
Sure. You do pull-ups, right?
I used to do them every workout, but after I have tendonitis in my right elbow, so I kind of stopped now, and I tried them recently, and I have to do more. But
would you want to do it?
I would
Please
try
do it. Please do it.
I don't think I do very well.
It doesn't matter. We'll have. Can we get BoBo on too?
I would love to get Big A on there.
But could we really get Jim on? You think?
I think we can
because he's a bona fide celebrity.
He is a bona fide celebrity.
That'd be the best.
A boner fide celebrity.
Oh yeah.
I get tuckered out very easily, but I'd give it the old college try.
I'd love to see you give it a try.
You know, one of the hardest things is is the adrenaline control. So I've got a buddy who
Jim would get all excited right at first.
That's what happens. Is like you can be in great shape, but what happens is when you're at the starting line with the cameras on you, and when you're competing, it's $1 million theoretically on the line. And you go, and it's just like people overpump, and they get so excited that even people who are in phenomenal shape will just exhaust themselves.
I would gas
quickly.
as soon as the gun went off, like, I would just gas.
You'd run to grab that rope and go,
fall on my face.
God. Oh my God, it's so hard.
So wait, the whole thing is when they're running on these things, it's very easy to fall. What if you fall right there? Do you have to get back up and start over?
So Team Ninja Warrior, we're a little more lax. It's you can have some imperfections on this course, but yeah, if they go in the water here, that's it. You lose. This is head to head. Whoever goes the farthest, the fastest on this course. These courses aren't quite as difficult as American Ninja Warrior because we are encouraging them to kind of do the head to head. Right?
You could do that, dude.
No, running across those fucking bouncy things, I'd hate. I would fall and fucking bang my balls.
I think so. How great would that be?
Would you like to see me fall?
If his fucking sack just bounced off one of those.
Would you like to see that?
I would. But you know what the thing is, Jim, that you have to keep in mind? That you really should do this. Because I know me and the listeners to our show, like at the end of the day, we would just give you applause for trying. We wouldn't laugh at you for miserably failing.
It's such a supportive group.
I appreciate that.
Maybe great effort.
That kind of does motivate me.
It does, you know?
We wouldn't laugh at you
cheers.
for falling in the water as soon as it became an option.
Right.
Yeah, it would happen. It would happen. I would
do it.
Oh, I wouldn't care.
You don't think you could you straddle the that punching bag
the
thing?
giant log?
That hangs?
What's the giant log?
It looks like a big heavy bag.
You have a giant log that you hold onto your chest. You'd be very comfortable
very natural.
with it, Jimmy.
Let me see it.
Oh, yeah.
It's a giant log grip. Yeah. Oh, yeah.
No, I would not be able to do that. Do you have to swing on it? Or climb it?
Well, here's the UK
No,
version.
big audience?
This
No, I don't wanna-
This is the British one.
Dude, you do better in front of an audience. You're kind of a showman.
Yeah.
That's true.
You know what I mean?
You raise a good point.
Yeah.
You're getting me pumped.
Yeah, you can do this.
I think it would be amazing to see Jim, just like a training montage of Jim Norton at the gym at Equinox, having his smoothies.
No, we'd have to do it old school. We'd have to be like Jim on a farm
Do you still
trying to
have a
catch
trainer?
a chicken.
I have two.
You have two trainers.
Yeah,
See?
but it's the only thing that makes me go to the gym.
Right.
I go to
there. You
4
pay
days a
for
week.
responsibility, accountability.
Yeah,
right?
when I go on my own on the road, I've gotten really lazy. Like I'll do elliptical and a few things, but they mix it up still and they keep it interesting. And
Right.
it makes me go.
Dude, the guys on this show, their bodies look exactly like yours.
Yeah, I mean, like as a fellow athlete, I think that I would be happy to compete.
Yeah. You
I
got
have
to
to
do
lose a little bit of the old middle there, but
Yeah.
Yeah.
Would he be? Do you think that is something that could happen sooner? Or would he theoretically have to wait for another?
We start up in March.
Okay.
We start up in March, so he's got time to train.
Yeah.
That's when the course will
Where
be
do you do it?
erected again. We're looking to do it out at Universal Studios in LA. We're probably going to do something on the East Coast.
Jim will fly.
yeah, especially if I get a good
Or
good
Vegas.
airfare.
We do the finale. We do the finale in Vegas, and we always like having celebs come out to the finale in Vegas.
Will you let
in
them
June.
run? No, it's crucial that he runs the course.
Yeah.
We don't want Jim to just come and be like, "Oh, I just love the show, and I'm happy to be here, Matt."
I don't know, man. That'd be fun too.
No.
Yeah, I would
Wouldn't
like
be-
that. Just
we don't.
going out
Cavino and Rich
We don't
came
want
out.
that.
Who?
Cavino and Rich.
Well, here's what we'll do. I'll come out and be like, "Oh yeah, I'm just here to support."
Right, Sam. Yeah.
Why
yeah,
don't you
yeah.
run it too?
I'm not a celebrity, you know. I'm just kind of a behind the scenes guy.
Why why
People
wouldn't it
want to
be?
get selfies with you.
Yeah, they
Why
like
wouldn't
Sam.
it be the Jim and Sam show? This is the fun part. The guys compete with each other.
We just go head to head.
Yeah, why not? It'd be fun. It'd be fun for the show.
On the Team Ninja Warrior course, Jim and Sam going head to head.
That'd be fun. Or even if we're on
And
the
then
same
Roland
team.
and Travis. is
How about
in the
against
other-
another radio show?
Another radio show?
Oh yeah, let's really get a good radio rivalry going. We'll settle this on the Ninja Warrior course.
How many people are on a team?
Three people on a team.
Me, Sam, and one more person from this.
Yeah,
Probably
it's usually
Adrian.
two guys and a
What
girl.
about Travis
All
dog?
right, Travis.
Travis dog.
He likes that.
It'd be
likes it.
teftacular.
You're just
Yeah.
embarrassing yourselves.
Tough Ninja Warrior.
Tough Ninja Warrior.
Yeah, let's do that.
Let's do it.
All right, we make it happen, you guys.
Yeah.
My cardio sucks, even though I work out. So
My
I'd be-
cardio's awesome.
Yeah, okay, good.
So, and
I get
and that's a
winded
natural
talking.
thing for me. I don't
Right.
even work out.
Is it?
So yeah.
Yeah, let's
you
do
can
it.
go all day, Sam.
Jim
all
and
day,
Sam
yeah.
and one more. Let's do that.
Yeah.
If I'm going to be humiliated, why not you and one of the girls?
Well, I'm not going to be humiliated. I'm going to do really well.
Yeah, you will, because I'll be your teammate.
That's true. That's true. Me and the lady, whoever we choose,
What is
whatever
this?
lady we choose.
Oh, that looks
so
hard.
this is stage 3.
That looks fucking
This
hard.
was the most recent season. This is the guy who goes the farthest in the most recent season, Drew Dreshel.
Oh, that looks hard.
And so this is the keyboard hang. Imagine you've got little.
That's not that tough. I'm good at puzzles.
Yeah, right. It's you're doing a math puzzle while hanging. It's awful.
I would hate that
Grip
simply
strength.
because my right arm would start to hurt.
Right, your tendonitis.
That would bother
Yeah, see,
me.
we would definitely have some agility ones up front. for
My
you, Jimmy.
trainer had me doing something where I was doing crunches with weights, and I had to sit up and with a crunch. They were light weights, but then throw a punch to the right and a punch to the left. It was very ladylike,
Right.
and then go back down and do the crunch. But the little punches across to the right hurt.
Maybe we'll have Mary.
It was like Rocky in Rocky 3.
It really was.
The
Same
little kid
deal.
slapping his abs.
Exactly. My trainer fell onto a feed bag in the pet store. Then she woke up, told me to win. Boo.
Boo.
Maybe we'll have Mary Jean join our team.
Ah,
She'd be fun.
Mary Jean would be fun.
Her giant titties running the course.
Bouncing all over like fucking nobody's business.
She's supposed to plug that thing in. She's like, oh my God, it looks like a deck.
Yeah, me, you, and Mary Jean. That's it.
Yeah, that's a good team.
Fuck yeah.
That's a
solid
tough
team.
trio.
Chipper and Mary Jean.
Chipper's not invited. Chipper's not even sort of
Who
invited.
did the animation on Chip Dog?
Chip Dog was
One
a
of the-
fan.
yeah,
It was
one of the fans.
so
That is
good.
amazing.
Very talented fan.
Yeah, he
That
did.
is the creepiest little Chip Dog.
With a chip face on it?
Yeah.
And he and I
I don't
have
know how he does
communicated
that.
through DM.
It goes down in the DM.
It does go down the DM, but he's really good, and he like works a regular job, and I think that he just kind of did that because he wanted to. He likes Chip.
But I kind of feel like he now has 3D scans of your face.
He
It's
very
the
well
only
might.
way he could have done that.
I don't know,
He
but I,
very well might.
I do know that I want to maybe have him do more, and maybe compensate him for doing, or someone for doing it in that fashion, because that was really good.
Or if someone could build a retinal scanner where the Chip Dog would look like Chip.
It's got 1,060 likes and 6 dislikes. It's so great.
Can
Who
you
are the
guys-
6 creeps?
Can you guys see this, or is this just for my retinas?
That's
It's my
amazing.
cock in his face.
Let's go to Kyle in Alabama. What's up, pal?
Hey, yeah, I want to ask the Iceman guy
the Iceman guy.
It's Christine Leahy. Now, one, she's unbelievably attractive.
She's smoke show.
But she is so stupid. She's on the Colin Cowherd radio show. Is she that dumb? I don't know. I know you're going to be. I should even ask this question. Be so politically correct, but she's horrible at sports and announcing and giving her opinions. And the only reason she's on these shows is because she's just incredibly hot.
I don't.
How do I? No, I mean, I think she's amazing. She's great. She's intelligent.
I wouldn't
has
have thought
great
that you'd go in that direction.
Hot sports takes.
You're not going to agree with the
I know,
caller?
Kyle.
Like,
Yes, sir. Some things are not political correctness. Like asking somebody to trash someone that's been on their show and not doing it's not really PC.
Hey, trash your coworker that you have to go work with.
Yeah,
who's-
like walking in to your
who is
coworker.
so much hotter than me.
She had a boyfriend?
She does.
God damn it.
well, she does until she sees you run the course.
That's true.
She does. He's large and fit and yeah.
What's he do?
He runs a cycle house. He runs like a gym in LA.
You know, you never want
You could go to the gym. You could be eating better with this guy.
You never want to hit on a girl whose boyfriend runs cycle house.
Yeah, no, she's like,
God damn, she's lovely.
Her boyfriend's probably not that funny,
As
though.
we know, when
That's
you're
true.
on the show, not everybody likes you. Not everyone likes your takes, and I think Leahy does a great job. And she's on Colin Cowherd, Sports Talk.
Yeah.
Colin. She became his co-host now that he went over to Fox Sports. So
Yeah, I mean, she's got I don't know her well enough to say one way or the other.
Yeah.
But she's not getting there's lots of hot chicks. So she's got to be able to do an okay job of forming a sentence together.
Yeah, Colin Cowherd has brought her on his radio show, and he likes her takes, and he knows a lot more about sports than I do.
Is he in love with her, you think?
It's hard not to be. I mean, she's breathtakingly gorgeous. She's
right.
she's a beautiful woman, and she's cool.
She's fine. Yeah, she's
And
fine.
she Snapchats in the morning. I know, right?
She does.
It's literally like American Ninja, where the athletes. I'm just around the most in shape, physically fit, toned.
Yeah, but you're an in
people.
shape guy.
I'm in shape, but like
Not you.
It's awful when we're in Vegas. I think they are all just fucking each other.
Right, and you're not invited?
Just not at all.
No,
not at all. And part of it is like maybe there's that outside thought that maybe one of them would, but I'm like, A, I have a girlfriend, but B, I'm like, I don't want to shit where I eat and lose my job.
Right.
But my God, when you look at these are the healthiest, youngest. These people should be reproducing. They are just the
All
most
the ninjas
athletic,
are just fucking
fit.
each other?
I mean, it's like the Olympics.
Yeah.
When you get these super fit people who've been working their entire lives for this moment, and then they're done competing, it's like, let's.
Yeah.
Well, have you been to
Bum
South
uglies.
Beach?
Yeah,
South Beach is. I've been to Miami once in my life.
God, you just the pheromones. It's like
It's
you
so
take it with the
depressing.
knife.
It's so depressing.
It is.
Why?
It
Because so
is.
much sex is going on and none of it's for you.
They're all good-looking people. It's like I feel ugly in Jersey. In Miami, I feel like a tumor. It's really awful.
I just feel old anymore around it. Like I go to bed, and I like getting a good night's sleep now. I remember those days when you'd be up until the sun comes up partying.
Do you have a young lady friend at the moment?
I do. I have a girlfriend. We live together.
We met her at Maria's and Kevin's party.
Joe. Joe.
Ah, J.O., like from the Facts of Life.
Right. Hi, Joe. Yeah, she might be listening. Hi, honey.
Yeah.
Yeah, we've been living together. It's good.
It's a terrible dress that Christina
know.
Healy. I don't know, Leahy, whatever it is.
Smoke show.
She's a pretty girl.
Jason in Detroit.
Morning, fellas. Hey, Jim, I think he could do real good on the course. Last year they had Zach Gowen, former WWE wrestler.
Oh, that's right.
And he only has one leg, so I think he can do better than a one-legged gentleman.
That's a good point.
Yeah. He's a pro wrestler with one leg. He's fairly athletic.
Yeah.
But
he's got a fake leg. I think he meant he hopped.
No, wait.
Yeah, wait for this.
Here we go.
Oh, he does.
He takes it off.
Dude, he wrestles like that. He wrestles just hopping around.
Yeah.
Does he ever use the leg to smash someone like a chair?
He's a good guy right now because he's inspirational. But he has had time when he's been a bad guy, and he would have done that. Sure.
Okay, he's doing this with one leg.
You think-
Did he lose his leg like in the last few years, or is
No,
childhood cancer, I think.
Wow.
Yes. And it's above the knee. Like we've had guys, when you have below the knee, you can have the prosthetic on, and we had a guy run it with the prosthetic leg, but above the knee, it's...
Oh, he's holding on. He's taking too long. This is bullshit.
That was exactly my commentary right now. You couldn't hear
faster
it.
than this guy. Look, he's holding on. He's cheating.
He's not
Little
cheating.
cheater.
He's got no leg.
He's supposed to turn around and just do it. If you can't do it right, don't do it. He's cheating.
He's not. I have no leg.
I hope somebody takes Jim's commentary here and puts it to this run.
I think so.
And puts that online.
Okay,
Oh, yeah,
now he's
good.
got the
Grab
rope.
it and swing now. Go ahead. See, I could have done this faster. See, no way. No good. Boo. No good.
Jim.
What?
He's doing fairly well for a man with one leg.
Yeah, well, I could do twice as fast.
You mean
That's
'cause he-
humiliating.
'cause
As a
he
man with
hasn't-
two. Oh, that's it. He fell. Sloppy work. No good. See, the guy's announcing, he's probably criticizing him. This guy's terrible.
The guy who's announcing is sitting next to you.
No, the black guy.
Oh. There
yeah,
he is.
see, he's going to cheat. But
He's
cheat
not
again?
cheating.
Yeah, look at him hugging the log. I would do that so much faster. What's he doing?
He's going to go through he's got to hold onto the log and let it roll down. And he's rolling. He's rolling. Look at that leg swing in the air.
Yeah.
And he does it successfully.
And he
Look at this guy.
falls.
It's amazing.
I get hit with the log. Terrible. Not good at all. Not good. Bad.
Bad.
Mrs. O made a quiche. He's hopping.
He's hopping, yeah.
Guy's
Look at
fucking...
He can't believe how far he's made
it. It really is humiliating as a person with two legs to watch somebody with one leg.
What's my excuse?
Oh, my God.
Just do much better than you would.
Just people who are driven.
Yes.
People who are this driven to achieve
They
something.
all are.
It's
so
fucking
many of these people, they
amazing.
wake up, they have families, they have jobs, and they find time to work out. And I have nothing, and I'm lazy.
Yeah, but dude, how many comedy specials have they done, right? You know what I mean? You're accomplishing your own thing.
Jim's
That's a
living
great
the dream.
point.
Right.
Yeah, see, this guy's he's cheating. He's taking too many swings.
No, you're allowed to take... Matt, is he cheating?
No.
No, I didn't think so.
Yeah, well, you
But-
watch me do something like this. Boom.
Oh.
Right in the water. Thanks for nothing.
Get on this, fans. Make that call. That is going to be my favorite
Just
American
sloppy.
Ninja
Not
Warrior
good.
run.
Not good.
A lot of people were impressed by his run.
Oh, please, fell in the water? Who couldn't fall in the water?
It's really like it's become such a positive show where like all these runs we have these earnest stories.
Yes.
And it's because obviously I enjoy a show like this,
right?
Where you enjoy the fans. You watch a show like this, and it's hard not to root for some of these people. But I'm sure they'll find a way. I'm sure they will find a way.
Now you're also going to be on Celebrity Apprentice this year, which we were talking about right before you came in.
Surreal.
Which I'm excited about.
It's surreal.
I'm a big Celebrity Apprentice fan. I've watched every season like religiously, but I would be bummed that and Arnold's great.
Yeah.
But to not get to do the Celebrity Apprentice with the Donald.
Right.
It has to be a little disappointing.
Well, I never had the chance. I mean, look, the only reason I got in, I also understand the term celebrity was there was maybe some air quotes around it for me. NBC, obviously, I was called about a week before the show was starting, and the head of casting was like, look, we've got enough personalities. We just want to get someone in there who we know will do some of the work. And so these tasks get done. And I'm like, that's great, fine.
I'm your guy.
I don't care.
Plus,
It's
NBC is probably like, we also get to promote our show.
Right.
It's double dipping.
I mean, it's like the lights come up at 2 a.m. in a bar, and the girl's like, "I'm going home with you." You're like, "I'm just happy to be here." And so I got on the show, and I was ecstatic. And for me, Arnold Schwarzenegger is it. Like, he's the pinnacle. Like, my bedroom, where my house is unchanged. My parents still live in the house I grew up in. And
right.
I've got the Predator poster. I was just there last week. And I was sleeping with Arnold Schwarzenegger staring over me.
And you were like, does he know you now? Like, if he saw you, he'd be like, hey, Matt.
I hope so.
But maybe not.
Maybe not.
Maybe not. You don't know for sure.
I'm going back to L.A. tomorrow. We have press out at Universal Studios, so I'll be there and I'm going to see him. And
you're going to see if he knows you were on the show?
The very first time we met the governor, we had a press day before it started, and it was Eric Dickerson and Chael Sonnen and me.
Oh, is Chael on? I love Chael Sonnen.
Oh, dude.
That's great.
I got some stories about Chael. So Arnold comes in, he sees Eric Dickerson. He's like, Eric, how are you? Chael, that was a great fight. And then he just looks at me and he goes, hello, I'm Arnold.
No.
Yeah, and I was like, I'm one of the celebrities on your show. Like, it was just one of those gut punches. It was awful.
You were like, I'm just here to do the work.
I'm here to do the work.
Here to do the work.
Governor.
We're theorizing because they haven't announced what his catchphrase is yet.
I already know what it is.
I will tell you
they
this.
showed it.
We don't know.
But he's
terminated. You'll be terminated.
You're terminated.
You're terminated.
You've been terminated.
I have no idea.
But he would have said it in the room.
But I think what happened is, I think that they may have shot additional takes when we weren't in the room.
Oh, so he's going to be just like looking at nobody going,
I don't know.
You're terminated.
I don't know. But just so none of us knows what it is.
Wow.
Or we can reveal it.
Like it's that big secret.
That was very artfully explained, so we can't bug him about it. That was
like
very
the
good.
Series finale of Lost. Like, no, we have to film this separately,
right?
Because otherwise, people will find out what the big catchphrase is.
Right? I know, because we're also desperate for attention. That's why we're on the show.
I know what it is actually.
It's not you're terminated.
No, your goose is cooked.
Why would he say that?
It's bad.
Yeah, it's really bad.
Yeah, did you notice the way he was slinky with it too?
Oh yeah, Jim. Oh yeah.
Chael Sonnen though, what a guy!
Yeah, I love
he
Chael.
is. That dude is just like a man. He just exudes.
Yeah,
man, like they've had it in the preview where he goes, "I'm going to cut every one of your heads off." He would like say that to your face, but there's
and you believe it.
You believe it.
Yeah,
but it's so sincere. It's likable. I'm like, yeah, you will, man. You'll cut my head off.
I appreciate that,
and
dude.
I appreciate it.
Yeah,
I appreciate it. He's actually going to be fighting Tito Ortiz in January in Bellator.
Wow,
man. Yeah, I'm excited about this. Although, like, I feel like I'm getting I'm going to be able to enjoy this Celebrity Apprentice with Arnold because I'm getting my Trump kick in the other direction.
Right.
I cannot tell you how excited I got yesterday when they announced that Linda McMahon.
Oh my God! Did you start to see like your path to the White House is now secure? Sam?
Yeah, I was like,
you could get into the WWE and now conceivably have an audience with the president.
Right, those degrees of separation are starting to slightly shrink.
It has never been more evident, like politics and entertainment.
Plus, not only do you have Donald, who's taken a stunner in a WWE ring, but now his head of small business has also taken a stunner.
Right.
It's not fair though. They've been showing like Linda McMahon announcing like she's going to be the head of small business.
So they're probably showing pictures of her on the campaign trail, right?
Well, they could, but instead they're showing pictures of her like kicking JR in the balls and be like, "This is who Donald Trump has chosen."
Isn't this what it's going to be going forward? Is every politician now has had social media and has their things out there? We're going to just have so much more.
Yeah.
Things of,
You probably have very few politicians with video of them kicking a dick, though. That's always going to be a rarity.
But I mean, JR deserved it at that moment, to be fair to Linda. Like, JR needed a good, swift kick in the dick. Emile Hirsch is outside. We should invite him in, I guess.
Yeah, it's bring him in.
Yes. Emile Hirsch is in. You know Emile Hirsch, Matt Iseman?
I do.
I
don't know him. I know I don't know him personally.
Into the Wild, Milk, tons of movies. He's He's got a new movie out.
We sat next to each other on the plane.
Why, yes, we did.
Yesterday.
Oh, my gosh.
That's right.
Wow.
How you doing, buddy?
This, we bring people together. Emile Hirsch and Matt Iseman.
Wow.
Plane buddies.
We rode next to each other from L.A. yesterday morning. JetBlue. Or we're now revealing your travel plans, Emile.
Yeah. Well, you know where to find me.
I slept most of the time.
You did?
Yeah. I was past. It was early morning.
Do people bother you on planes, Emile? Like, do they? Because I always wonder when somebody who's recognizable, when you sit down on a plane, realizing that the guy next to you could know.
I think usually not. No, not really.
That's good.
Yeah.
Have you ever sat next to somebody that you wanted to bother but just didn't?
Cameron Diaz was one time on a plane, and I was like, "Oh man, not like she's on this plane. This is amazing." And I was like, "Well, we're not going down.
Right?
We're not going down."
Well, you
She's
hope
not going down.
Yeah, because you would say Cameron Diaz and others killed. You never want to be with a celebrity when they go
But
down.
I feel like sometimes, like, if people see a celebrity on an airplane, they sort of think that automatically. They're
Like we're safe?
Yeah. They're like, okay. Like, because they know rationally that flying is safe, and then that just for some reason hammers it home.
Yeah, because it would be like it would be an international news story if this plane went down. This isn't happening today.
Yeah,
that's
really
safe.
unlikely.
I'm safe. Oof, no problem.
So you guys didn't recognize each other on the plane?
No, well, he wouldn't know me.
Why not? He's American Ninja Warrior.
Yeah,
Well,
you don't think he watches American Ninja Warrior?
Oh
on
man,
TV all the time.
American Ninja Warrior is amazing.
Yeah, man.
See, dude,
He's the fucking.
you hang out with badasses,
Right?
Are you?
And I'm not a badass. No, I'm
Wow.
I am a
I
poussey.
actually watched a few episodes of American Ninja Warrior. I think on a plane.
Did you?
Yeah.
Well, you know what's funny is there's a rumor that there may be a celebrity version going on, Emile.
Really?
And people like Stephen Amell and Jim Norton from the Jim and Sam show might be competing on it, and maybe Emile Hirsch.
Yeah, do you want to be on Celebrity American Ninja Warrior?
I would totally do it.
Right.
Really?
Yeah, I mean, when I was training for Lone Survivor with Wahlberg,
Yeah.
like I went down to Bud's with Ben Foster.
What's
and
Bud's?
It's the basic underwater demolition school where all
I
the
knew what it was,
SEALs
but
train
he
at.
didn't. Yeah.
Oh, okay. Yeah. And at one point we walked out to the SEAL obstacle course, and he was like, "Have at it, dude." And I was like, and I did some of the obstacle course and where all the dudes train, and it's like that's sort of like American Ninja Warrior.
So this is what's embarrassing.
I was in way better shape then. But
So this is full circle. You know how I get motivated in the gym? On my Walkman, I downloaded the audio to the trailer for Lone Survivor.
Oh, wow.
We could be heroes.
Yeah, the Peter Gabriel
just for
cover
one day.
On your
Bowie.
Walkman?
I never had synergy like this.
I literally, on my Walkman, I'm listening to it.
Yeah, man, I'll go.
You're never
run.
out of the fight.
I'll go run all the time and listen to that Peter
Dude,
Gabriel song.
but like, I mean, I listened, the audio from the trailer with
Yeah.
like the voices.
Wow.
Gentlemen, Operation Rowan gets a go.
Yeah.
How did you do on the SEAL
Oh my
obstacle
God.
course?
I did all right. I mean,
I'm getting fired up now. Play that trailer. That is the best trailer.
Yeah.
So you did well on it? Or
No.
What?
You did good at the SEAL obstacle course?
I mean, they didn't time me or anything, but I did a little bit of it. You know, I mean, I wouldn't claim to have like kicked the SEAL obstacle course ass. Those guys are,
Yeah.
real badasses who train really
You know what
hard.
seems hard about that is like you have to stay in your wet clothes and sit in the sand and it's cold holding
Yeah.
a log. It just
Yeah.
seems really uncomfortable.
You think so?
I was
Yes.
walking through the courtyard and I saw a dude who was completely soaked head to toe, who was kind of waddling, and I look at this guy who's giving me the tour, and I said, "Why is he waddling like that?" He goes, "Oh, well, he's sort of shimmying around in his clothes, trying to stay as dry as possible and have as little of the wetness touch his skin." And I'm like, "Well, that's not a lot because he's completely soaked from head to toe." And he's like, "Yeah, but every little bit,
Wow.
He's literally
I would worry
walking
about.
around
I get blisters on my feet. Like if my feet get wet, I get blisters. Like where I wear flip flops and my feet, I would have to have band aids.
Yeah,
I
you
couldn't
should
be a
immediately
SEAL.
tell the drill instructor in SEAL school. that
Yeah.
They won't
I think
make you
he'd
do
like
it.
that.
Do you have a
blisters.
little thing of foot lotion that I can put on my belt just so that way we can moisturize?
5 minutes is enough marching, sir. That's it.
How did the SEALs react to you guys being there? Like, did they like that you're portraying them accurately because you're actually doing the work, or were they like, who were the Hollywood people?
We hadn't shot the film yet, and I think those guys are so incredible, and I think that they just wanted to let us know as much as they could so that we could try to do as good a job as we could and portray them as best as we could
accurately. I feel like you do movies where you have to do a lot of work. Like there's a lot of homework associated with a bunch of your movies. It's not like half the time you're not just getting a script and getting to just
There's
read
not
it.
a lot of like comedies where I'm just coming in and getting some dialogue down. That's just sort of the way that it's kind of been. And but I personally love it. I mean, I like challenges and
because you had to learn how to skate to do Lords of Dogtown.
Yeah, and then there was sort of mountaineering stuff for Into the Wild.
Plus, you had to lose like all your weight for Into the Wild.
Yeah, got rid of the baby fat.
Yeah. Then you have to go into SEAL training.
Well, I wouldn't call that SEAL. Yeah, let's
we're calling it SEAL training.
Yeah, right. For me, it's
right.
like it's the equivalent. But and then so for this movie, the
Autopsy of Jane Doe.
Yeah, which I watched last night, and it was really it was good. And I'll tell you, when somebody comes in with a movie, I'll always give it like 25 minutes, and then get the gist and probably turn it off.
Yeah,
I didn't turn it off. That's how I knew it was good.
Wow.
I watched the entire movie.
What's it about? My link didn't work.
Yes, it did.
No, it didn't.
There's operator error.
It's a freaky. It's a scary movie about a father and son morgue working team that gets a mysterious body in the night, and they have to perform an autopsy to figure out the cause of death. So it's sort of like a mystery where they're putting together the cause of death, and then it kind of becomes this horrific conclusion. But it's freaky. And so to prepare for that, I went to the Los Angeles County Morgue, which is the biggest morgue under one roof in the world. And I got a tour of the morgue by the director, Craig Harvey. I had to sign a ton of paperwork so that if I got Ebola in there, I wouldn't sue him afterwards. And I went from having never seen a dead body in my entire life to seeing hundreds and hundreds of bodies.
How do you get permission for that? Does the studio contact them, or do you just go, "Hey, look, I'm an actor and I want to come in and look"?
I DM'd him on Instagram. And that was I'm just kidding.
I'm so stupid. I actually I didn't know that would work.
No. I mean, I don't know. I think the producers, I don't know. They
just get you in.
They somehow got me in. They went through the procedure that you do. But
did you touch the bodies at all?
No. You can't do that.
You can't poke at them. Are they dead for sure?
Honestly,
for sure.
It was. My jaw was like I had to pull it up off the floor. It was. Some of the images afterwards are just, I'll never forget. I mean, I saw 5 or 6 active autopsies being done. And if you've never seen an autopsy before, it is, I mean, you got to see it. You got to see the movie. You got to see the movies.
I always show up late for them. They're always done by the time
what
I
were
get
you?
there.
What was the body then that you worked on? Prosthetic?
Yeah, I mean, we had a real actress because a lot of the movie, they used her, this actress, Owen Kelly, who was incredible. And she, was like a method corpse. I mean, she wouldn't talk to anybody.
She just has to stay still the whole
laid down
time?
and still, and wouldn't. Yeah, I mean, it was incredible, and that was hard because she was on this big cold slab of marble for 30 days or whatnot, and it was actually probably
that sounds like a role Bobby
worst
Kelly
job
could
in
do.
and then we had this kind of this dummy. The dummy to me, after I'd been in the morgue and seen all these people that had these really unfortunate ends, was easier to deal with than I mean, even now I'll still have images of that morgue.
That's what I was thinking about. That as soon as I started watching the movie, at the very beginning, when you figure out that it's centered around this kid and his dad who work at the morgue, that just the idea of getting to a point where you're so desensitized that you can do that for a living, just handle dead bodies, and it's just what you do. It's just around you all the time, and it's like going to any other job.
Yeah, I mean, a lot of the workers when I went downtown were like, "Hey man, can I get a picture with you?" And they were throwing their arms around me, and they kind of still had their gear on, and I was like, I'm getting pieces of people all over me right now.
Yeah.
But yeah, I mean, I guess it's there was a certain kind of gloom that I think my character has in the film.
Mm-hmm.
It's just a little bit of sadness and melancholy, and that was, I think, probably because he'd been handling all those bodies.
Were you allowed to actually stand there while they did the autopsy, or did you have to watch from another room?
No. These double
Kramer
doors,
and Seinfeld in the audience
were shh and open, and the worker saw me and was like, "Hey man, come on in here." He literally said it like that.
So you get to stand right where they are.
They gave me a mask, and I wasn't standing next to him. I was a few feet to the side, but I mean, you see the way. I mean, I saw. It's the morning. I don't want people to take their coffees in the car, but it was pretty heavy stuff.
But like, what was it? Like,
yeah, where they cut into the cut into
I
the
don't
chest.
mind
I mean,
people
like I
spit taking their
saw,
coffee.
I saw a woman like fully get cut open. I saw a guy have his scalp peeled over his face with his ears clipped on both sides. So they pulled his face all the way down. Then they drilled open his skull and pulled his brain out, and then snapped his brain stem so you could like hear the click. It was like.
And that's how they get the brain out?
Jesus Christ.
I don't know. That might have just been a quirk that one guy had. No.
But that's like so fucked, because then you realize like that your brain stem, that like the reason everything works, like it's just one guy's snap away.
Right.
Like it's just
You also realize how unique you're not. Like everybody thinks we're unique and we're special, and like so, no, I'm just a hunk of fucking body parts that they're eventually just going to cut out and throw in the garbage.
Yeah.
Yeah, I mean, I think that
I don't know
would
if
be
they
the
throw it in
more
the garbage.
jaded view of humanity, but like. I think it's just we have bodies, and that's sort of.
We've got
we
the
all know
divine
that,
spark,
though, right?
though.
I guess
That's us,
so.
right?
Yeah.
It's inside.
I mean,
it's the soul.
Yeah, it's the living.
And that's
that
what
is the
art gets in
special.
touch with.
The soul.
The spark, yeah.
Yeah.
Right.
Yeah. Well, that's what I guess.
American Ninja Warrior, my ass. Nobel laureate over here.
But that you want to believe that you're special,
right?
And that your body is somehow associated with that.
But you're not.
And
Some
we
guys just
are.
going to snap you. Well, in a way, but we're all like, just when you're dead, you're just
some guy's just going to scalp you and snap your
Exactly.
brain.
Could be heroes.
I actually looked at the director of the morgue, Craig Harvey, and like as the brain was being pulled out, he was like, "There's your computer."
Yeah.
And I was like, okay.
That's it.
I'm like, are you?
Thanks, Craig.
I'm like, are you glad to be alive? And he like looks at me and just like, oh yeah, oh yeah.
And it just keeps moving. He just keeps moving.
I mean, and then there was this like little, like kind of short, portly Latino woman that was cutting this like half burnt corpse's ribs, but with huge bolt cutters, and it was like this really audible crack. And he goes, "You see her over there?" Craig said this. I was like, "Yeah." And he goes, "She used to be upstairs. She was the secretary, and she heard the stories, and she became curious. She wanted to know where the action was, so she took some classes, and here she is. She's one of our best medical examiners now." And I was like, wow. So it's
Craig
it's like a
reminds
little
me-
secret society.
right. Yeah, Craig sounds like a fun dude to hang out with.
Who's the professor in Fast Times? I just switched to
Mr. Hand.
decaffeinated coffee.
No,
Fast Times. I switched to decaffeinated coffee.
Oh yeah, he's the guy. Didn't he play? He was in One Flew Over the Cuckoo's Nest, and he was he played Lotka's priest in Taxi.
Yes.
Yeah, I don't know who he is. He's
Jeez.
kind of a bit of a ghoul.
Yeah,
The
cool.
1985
Didn't they
DOB has to shut up right now. I'm like,
Yeah, I know who the guy is. I just don't know his name.
Yeah.
Oh wow, well, wow.
I don't know his name either, but I know exactly who you're talking about.
He's
And
kind-
it
he
is-
was in-
Mr. Vargas.
I think he was in The Hills Have
Vincent
Eyes.
Schiavelli. That's
Yeah.
it.
Oh wow,
Yeah.
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 Oh wow, yeah.
Was that,
yeah.
is that Craig?
Well,
was it like him?
Got a mustache when we were getting there.
He's dead.
Is there anybody that like intimidates you to work with, because you've developed? I guess you must have developed a relationship with like Sean Penn now, because you've done a couple of things together.
Yeah.
And you've been directed by the guy who directed The Exorcist. Like you've gotten to work with a lot of pretty impressive people that to me would feel intimidated, but I don't know if that's how you approach it.
I mean, I certainly have a massive amount of respect for the people that I've worked with, and certainly working with Sean was. I mean, he's a real badass guy, and a really smart guy.
Not like this American Ninja Warrior guy, like an actual badass.
I mean, he's just a.
I'm not going head to head with El Chapo.
He's just like a fearless guy in a lot of ways, and so. I mean, I think the best world that you can kind of operate in is that you learn from those people, and they just try to make you better.
Yeah, you've done some of this stuff with Sean though, right? Like you guys went to Haiti together.
Yeah, he set up a kind of a charity and an operation down there, an NGO, and I went down there for 12 days and just did what little I could to sort of help out the operation they had, which was pretty sprawling. They'd actually set up kind of a base where a golf course had been, and a lot of people were living there.
I have to imagine that when you're hanging out with Sean Penn, it's hard to be apathetic. You know what I mean? Like it's hard to, because he's got such an like enthusiasm, and he's so,
he has so much conviction about what he believes in, and right and wrong, and morality, and doing things for other people. And I think that really rubs off on people. It really does, and it's really refreshing being around someone like that too, because like what you just said, like it's really easy to become apathetic, especially in this world right now. You know, but when you meet someone that truly isn't, and I think that's what drew him to want to even make Into the Wild. It was, a movie about a character who wasn't apathetic, who cared about everything, and who really wanted to help people.
Right. What was the motive of that guy too? Like just leaving and not telling his family where he was going.
Alexander Supertramp.
Alexander Supertramp. Yeah. I think a lot of it had to do in terms of not telling the family. There was a lot of anger towards the family and a lot of pain, and he was kind of wanting to sort of divorce himself from his parents. That was what a lot of it really was. But he also at the same time wanted to kind of start anew and go on this epic adventure. But over the years, he's been sort of dismissed as, being too hard on the parents and like, how could this loving kid do this to his parents? But the parents, the relationship with the parents was a lot more contentious. And since the movie's come out, his sister Corinne McCandless wrote a book called The Wild Truth, where she delved a little bit deeper into that family dynamic, and you sort of realize a little bit more what Chris has done and how it wasn't quite as crazy on the surface.
She points out, like, he wasn't just this selfish kid who ran away. And,
I mean, she says there was a lot of abuse and things like that.
Oh, wow. Okay. Hey, and Sean Penn, by the way, back to him, he's a ballsy guy. Yeah. The fact that he did go into Mexico and met with El Chapo and like risked possibly being kidnapped, I mean, that's a tremendously
to go and do the interview with him.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And then when they say that the interview partially contributed to him being captured or something, I heard that the Mexican government said that. I mean, that's sort of like...
also his communication with that woman. El Chapo was like into this sex life with this woman.
Of this stuff. It's so amazing. I mean, you read it and you're like,
dirty texting got El Chapo caught.
I mean, it's just incredible.
All right, Hamilton.
It's sort of like I don't know. It's like the flame of fame is just irresistible for some of these types.
Well, he didn't know who Sean Penn was. El Chapo he wanted to meet the Mexican girl who he was kind of in love with, and she brought Sean Penn, but he was in love with this. I think she was a journalist or she was an actress.
I think she was like a soap opera actress.
Maybe she was. Yeah, but he was really, really into her.
But isn't that it? I mean, but it's right partly because she's a soap opera actress. Yeah, like he's got all this power. He's controlling everything, but he's still not like a celebrity. He's not like an actor or whatever.
We're all just shot dead tomorrow.
Yeah. Did you read his awful text to her too, El Chapo? He was saying things like, "I would protect you like my own eyes," like really cheesy shit. Great drug lord, but terrible dirty texter.
When you're doing a movie like The Autopsy of Jane Doe, like when you get the script and everything, and you're signing on. Like, it's a movie where if it's not filmed correctly or if the corpses look cheesy or whatever, everything can go wrong. Mm-hmm. Is that something that you pay attention to, or do you just like, I got to just have faith in the director?
You know what was kind of funny is, okay, so when I first got the script, there was this title page after the official title page where it basically said, an autopsy is, by its nature, graphic. However, this film is intended to be more poetic and expressionistic and not overly exploitative. And then you see the movie, and it is the most graphic, intense autopsy scenes imaginable. I'm like, I don't think they gave the director that page of the script. I think they sent that to like the actors to get them to be like, oh, well, it's like expressionistic.
Yeah,
and
it's not one of these gory movies.
But it's not. I mean, it doesn't feel exploitative at all or gratuitous. But an autopsy is graphic, and there's this movie Concussion with Will Smith, and the first 5 minutes of the movie is an autopsy, and you never see the corpse. It's all like him being like on his face as he's like, and there's the brain, and so this movie doesn't do that at all. But the director Andre Overdahl, he made this movie called Troll Hunter, which was it's on Netflix if you want to check it out. It's actually really good. It's like this mockumentary about these college kids who try to do a report on this guy who's supposedly a troll hunter, and then it turns out he actually is, and he works for the government, and he hunts down these massive trolls across the country. It's really good. So I had a lot of faith in him just from this film because I was like, this guy's a talented guy. He's going to do well.
But if a film avoids showing something, like you say in the first 5 minutes where they don't show it at all, it's like that's almost gratuitous in the other way where it's like insulting. Like, we can handle a little bit of it. If they're totally avoiding all of it, it's like...
Yeah. And I think in particular with the case of The Autopsy of Jane Doe, after I left that Los Angeles County morgue, I called up the director and I said, if the horror that I just experienced going into this morgue, if you can capture 1/10 of that in this film, like, this is going to be a truly horrifying film.
Yeah. And the whole film does take place within the morgue. Like, it's this confined thing.
That's always amazing to me.
Yeah.
Like, so when you can take a movie which you always expect spectacle and it's so intimate.
Totally.
Like the story, the acting has to be so compelling to drive it. I can't wait to see this.
Yeah, and I think that is one of the benefits is of having that Sherlock Holmes detective story. It's not like a play where it's like two people being like, and then we went over to the thing and we did they're finding these clues.
Right.
So you're really building it's a psychological kind of intellectual build.
It's like Quincy, where the coroner gets involved more than a coroner would usually get involved.
No.
Yes.
We're not getting Quincy references.
Do you remember Quincy?
85.
Ah, damn it.
I was born in 83, so I'm not with you on Quincy either.
He lived on a boat.
Yeah, he did.
He was a medical examiner who lived on a boat.
Quincy to me was my 9-year-old neighbor when I was a little kid growing up.
Yeah, so maybe the reference isn't exactly
Jack
the same.
Klugman was a 9-year-old neighbor?
Exactly.
Hey, Emile.
It was a murder. Do Quincy all day.
Yeah, I wouldn't. I'd be lost. December 21st, by the way, is when The Autopsy of Jane Doe is out in limited theaters. The day before, it shows up on video and on demand and all that stuff. So that's fun, right? When you can get, that there's that many eyes that have access to the movie.
Movie star.
You're still excited about that?
I really am.
What's kind of crazy about it is, so the trailer came out online, and it's not like a big movie or anything, but for whatever reason, it went like mad viral.
It
and
did
has
go
like
viral.
10 million or more views. It's crazy.
Do you like the fact that it's on?
Which is really unheard of for a movie like that.
Do you like it being on demand as well at the same time, or would you prefer it was just in the theaters?
I mean, these days, I don't know, so many people are so used to TV shows and binge watching TV shows that I have less of a problem with it now than I ever had before. I don't necessarily know if it's the most ideal, but at the same time, so many people I talk to, they don't go to the theater as much as they used to. They watch Westworld, they watch Black Mirror, they watch all these shows. So they can have access to it.
It sounds like the setting, the ambiance, it would be better appreciated in the theater. I feel like stand-up, when people watch stand-up on TV, they don't get it. It's live, it's magical. And I feel the same way about movies. Like, a movie is meant to be appreciated in the theater. No focus taken away the big screen.
I got to tell you, because generally you're right. Like, I like going to the theater. I was watching this movie on a laptop last night. Like, that's where the screeners... And a lot of times you lose a lot in a movie when you're just watching on a laptop screen. But the whole time, it was like 11 o'clock at night. So I just kept, like, looking over my shoulder. Yeah. And, like, still getting freaked out about all the visuals and everything. It really is a creepy movie.
And these days we're so used to like being attached to our phones and we're used to viewing things the size of our screens.
Yeah.
That when you actually watch like a TV now, it seems really big.
It does.
It's really weird because like I'll watch stuff on my phone. Like I'll watch movies on my phone. I'll read books on my phone. So when I actually watch a TV now, I'm like, oh wow, that's way bigger than my phone.
Well, plus, a movie like that, you don't have to watch it because it's not like it's a special effects driven film. It's not like it's something like Pacific Rim that you got to see on a giant screen.
I wouldn't necessarily recommend watching it like alone at night though. Like I actually think that would be.
It's really creepy.
That's the best way to watch it. It's good to get creeped out.
I mean, I made the mistake of trying to rehearse a couple times alone at night in my house. And all of a sudden, the house would start creaking, and I'd be looking around, and I was like, ugh. And I like literally stopped rehearsing at night. I was like, yeah, it's a little.
I like being creeped out by a film. It's nice. It means you're feeling something.
Isn't it funny though? Isn't it funny these days? How many people do you talk to these days that are like, oh yeah, I don't do scary movies? I go, why? They're like, oh, they're too scary.
Yeah, there's a lot of people that won't watch them.
I can't handle them.
Yeah, they don't want anything upsetting. Nobody wants anything upsetting.
I love being scared.
The whole point,
right?
Yeah.
Point. I just want something. They don't want a spectrum of emotion.
Such little snowflakes.
It sounds like a night. I used to hate nightmares. Now I like a nightmare because you wake up and you're like, oh God, I'm not in that horrible place. I'm in my bed.
Yeah.
As opposed to a good dream when you wake up and you're like, oh, I wish I were still asleep.
Yeah, that was dope.
That was fun.
There's some nightmares though that like will like haunt you all day.
Yeah.
I don't like those.
Okay.
I don't mind them.
And I'm assuming
He's the way he said it.
Yeah, going to the morgue is like.
But a scary movie that creeps you out or makes you feel something, it's like that's such a great thing to have pulled out of you.
Because you're reminded that you're a human being.
Yeah, now I know how the women I date feel. Just creeped out and uncomfortable. But no, I like that, man. It means if the movie, it's like a good comedy that makes you laugh, or whatever, a movie that makes you cry.
Something that makes you feel.
If you feel nothing at the end of a movie, like, okay, that was a thing, then what's the use of doing it?
Yeah.
I always wonder, you got into a little legal trouble last summer, and like, I always wonder about the industry. Like, when that happens, do you have to go on like an industry like apology tour so everybody knows you're cool, or do you just kind of pick up and go?
I think it's just about, you know, moving forward and being as positive as I can, you know, step by step, and, you know, just trying to sort of lead by my actions.
Right. So like yeah, just going forward and being like, wow, I can only speak for what I'm doing right now, and nobody's.
Yeah. I mean, I think that it's really important to just do the best I can every day.
Yeah. Yeah.
Hollywood's a pretty forgiving place if you're genuinely ready to, like, you're like, okay, I fucked up, and now I'm not fucking up. They'll forgive a lot of stuff in Hollywood as long as you're not continually doing it.
Especially if you're good at what you do.
Yeah,
right?
that helps
like,
a lot.
Yeah, like if you're an artist and you're good at what you do.
Well, I think the important thing too is to learn from your errors.
Yeah.
And correct your actions. I think that's a really important thing.
I feel like we love to build people up only to tear them down, and then have them grovel at our feet, and then allow them to
give them
rise
the comeback
again.
story.
Yeah, I mean, I
gotta
feel
give 'em
that's
the
society
sequel.
though. Like society. There's this perverse notion of we love seeing people stumble. You know, we love seeing people be human, and it's like, you know, it happens to everyone. Everyone makes a mistake.
But I think it's really important though that, you know, people take accountability for what they do as well.
Yeah.
And you know, admit that they made mistakes.
Well, that's what you did, and you ended up doing a couple weeks in jail, right?
Mm-hmm.
Does that, like, when you're in there, because you go from Hollywood to the complete opposite, right? Like, is that where you're like, let me reshape the way I think about things?
I mean, you know, you could definitely call it a wake-up call. I mean, it's not a pleasant place to be in. And I think the important thing is that, you know, if people have problems with alcohol or drugs, or they're blacking out or something like that, you know, those are things to pay attention to. Those are, you know, that I don't think that, because I've talked to so many people since that have had problems and similar problems, and it's something that people should really pay attention to and be aware of.
How were you treated in jail? Was there any problems there, or did they kind of just keep you separated?
Well, I think, you know, I sort of benefited from the fact that a lot of the guys in there had a lot of respect for the armed forces and for lone survivor and the kind of SEAL community. So they had enjoyed that film, and I was just respectful of people and hoped that they were the same.
Yeah, because whenever, like, the idea of going to jail is so scary. Like, I'm afraid, like, I'm going to say the wrong thing.
But it's awesome when you find out that they're like, no, I'm a fan. You're like, cool. Okay, cool. Yeah, all right, good. Good. Well, it's also a bit of research, hopefully, if that ever comes up for the movies, you won't have to do. Because you did it. Instead of, like, going to the morgue. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Creepy.
Yeah.
Right.
Very creepy. What are you doing next?
I'm going to do a film, kind of a weird, quirky comedy in Northern California, called An Evening with Beverly Luff Lynn. We're going to go shoot that. But the next thing I have coming out is I worked with J.K. Simmons on a kind of a buddy movie called All Nighter.
How is he?
He's amazing. He's really funny. He's a great guy. And the movie is pretty
Schillinger from Oz.
Of course,
right?
Yes. Who's Beverly Luff Lynn? That's a great name.
Yeah, he's sort of like the protagonist.
It's a he, Beverly?
Yeah. He's sort of like a kind of a magical presence where you don't really know exactly what he does. It's like sort of like a lounge stand-up act, kind of all kind of pressed together. It's pretty great.
Oh, he's a comic and does all kinds of weird stuff?
but it's kind of like you don't really know exactly what he does. They keep it a little bit vague.
Oh, okay.
It's just an entertainer.
Yeah.
Do you end up, like, when you do these movies, do you end up having relationships with people that last, or is it like for instance, when you're working with like J.K. Simmons, is that somebody that you now kind of know and have connected with, or are these relationships that just kind of exist on set and then you both kind of do your own thing?
I mean, it just depends on who it is. You know what I mean? Sometimes you really connect with somebody or you get along for a particular reason. Like John Goodman and I on Speed Racer, we got along really well, and he ended up like letting me live in his house for like a year after we worked together. Yeah, it was amazing. Yeah, it was like amazing. It was like, wow, okay, cool. And he was just, he had a house in Los Angeles, and he was like nice enough to let me stay there for a bit, and like a little bit just turned into a friggin' year.
Why wasn't he there?
Well, he's always working and flying around, and he's got multiple houses. He's got another one. So I was like, just awesome, and he would sometimes come, and we would like watch baseball games, and he's just amazing.
That
he's
is
the
amazing.
Best actor. He should get nominated for an Oscar for Cloverfield Lane.
Yeah, he doesn't really get
so good in that movie.
John Goodman doesn't get credit for enough of the stuff he does.
He's like one of those guys that's just so good in everything.
Yeah.
You're just used to him being great in everything.
Yeah, he's amazing. And do you look around the house at points going like,
you have to.
Don't forget, this is John Goodman's house. It's fucking awesome.
Yeah. I'm like looking around the place going, enjoy this house because you're never going to live in a house this big.
Do you go through the drawers? I'd have to go through the drawers.
Would you?
You have to. You're there.
Big pairs of underwear.
I've got a weird honor code like that. I'm not going through the drawers.
Well, you're a good person.
It's the SEAL training.
Yeah.
Well, this was pre-SEAL training.
You're a good person, though. Jim, on the other hand, is not a trustworthy house guest.
I get freaked out. I have actually people doing something in my place today, like fixing something. I get so freaked out by people being in my space. Like, I don't like people touching my shit. I mean, I don't know how you let anybody stay in your house. Just going to assume they're going to go through all your stuff. Touch it.
So you're right. I mean, it does take a lot of trust.
Yeah. Would you let someone stay in your place?
Sure.
All right.
But I look him in the eye before.
Not you. Like, we're not
cool,
you.
Right?
Yeah, are we cool? Are we good?
We're cool, right? There's no weird, hidden.
That's hilarious. Well, listen, everybody needs to go check out The Autopsy of Jane Doe. It's, as I said, it's going to be on demand and all over the place starting December 20th. I'm assuming iTunes, Amazon, all over the place. And limited theater release on December 21st. It's always good to see these movies in theaters, I think, because I feel like everybody complains that the only thing that gets played in theaters is like superhero movies and that nothing happens anymore. Right. But when a movie like this comes out limited release, if people don't go see it, then there's not evidence that more movies like this need to be shown in theaters.
Yeah.
Right? Yeah. So check that out. And of course, you can follow Emile at Emile Hirsch on Twitter. Thanks for hanging out, man.
Yeah, thank you. Thanks for having me, guys.
It's been fun. And we'll be back with more Jim Norton and Sam Roberts right after this. Welcome back to Jim Norton and Sam Roberts.
Yes.
Don't forget to check out our YouTube channel, youtube.com/Jim and Sam Show, where Sick Baby has been putting together Hollywood caliber production value videos. And I mean, they're long too, like full segments. I think there's like a 90-minute Nick Mullins segment up there. There's the Sebastian Bach videos up there, the TJ Miller, the Victor Cruz. Look at him stretching his back out like he just did something. like he accomplished something major. You did. Listen to him. Listen to Edgar. And Matt Iseman's here.
Hey, guys.
How about that?
Oh, Matt.
It's fun being here.
Oh, you're enjoying it?
I do.
You do? You like it?
I love it.
Well, I know.
I'm a fan of you guys.
Thank you.
I love you guys.
I know you're a fan of the show, but you're a fan of Mike Francesa too, right?
Mike Francesa. Where's Mad Dog with Mike Francesa?
Did you?
We don't get him much out in L.A.
That's what.
It's only I hear about him peripherally through you guys. Usually.
We were on Red Eye, and they were talking about Mad Dog Mattis being added to Trump's cabinet, and Kevin Brennan goes. He's like, the only thing bad about that pick is I don't know what Mike and the Mad Dog are going to do now that the other guy's moving to D.C. It's like just a joke for New York and nobody else, but it was really funny.
Hey, narrow audience.
But
who's moving to D.C.?
Mad Dog Mattis.
and
Mike and the Mad Dog. It's a different Mad Dog, you see.
Yeah.
See, he's the Mad Dog Russo. It's the name of the guy. But they like to fuck with Mike Francesa. Mike Francesa is a bit of a blowhard.
Yeah.
And he goes on to his radio show and he talks about sports for about 5 hours a day. And
he's still like the top guy in
he's the number one guy,
right?
Yeah. He knows what he's talking about, but about certain sports, other sports, he knows shit. But sometimes they post clips of him that are they're boring. Like it's not even an interesting clip.
People are hating on him.
Meaning, like this one they posted about the call.
I fucking loved this one.
It was stupid. I didn't give a fuck about his because he wasn't bothered by it.
Yes, he was.
No, he wasn't. He was like, I don't get it.
He was extremely bothered by it. He was frustrated the whole time. He wouldn't stop talking about it. It's a long clip.
No, I don't think that was frustration. I've seen him play a minute of the clip where the guy asked him a dumb question.
So this is, again, somebody who's just kind of calling.
He looks like Billie Jean King there.
to get under his skin. The thing about Mike, though, is like there's nobody in the world who's got more contempt for his own audience than Mike Francesa.
Yeah.
I mean, every person that calls the show, every person that calls the show, he hates. He just hates them, and he seems frustrated that he was interrupted.
Right.
You know what I mean? Like,
so what happens in this call?
Listen.
Fred in New Jersey. What's up, Fred?
Hey, how you doing, Mike? This is Fred.
What's up, Fred?
Hey, nothing. I wanted to know who would win, Mike Tyson or LT in a street fight?
How the heck would I know? I mean, my God. Fred, come back to me, please. Come back to me. Who would win? Let me get this straight. Fred
he's actually
was online for about 15 minutes.
He's going with it.
And
He's not going with it. He's insulting Fred.
Who would win?
He's more making a point that instead of going with it and being like, well, I think Mike Tyson would obviously win, blah, blah, blah. He's insulting Fred because Fred's bothered him with such a stupid question.
No, I don't. He doesn't seem mad to me. I've watched a lot of these clips too. He doesn't seem really annoyed to me because he actually starts thinking about it. It's just, I don't know.
He's thinking about Fred.
I will say what I heard is that he needs some adjustments with his sleep apnea mask because he sounds, his breathing is awful.
He just nose breathes into the mic.
He just. Yeah, no, it's. I think I'm with you, Jimmy. It sounded like he was just going to kind of run with it.
He doesn't seem like I've seen him annoyed, but he doesn't.
He was marveling that this guy was on hold for 15 minutes to say this.
It's almost like he knows that people fuck with him now. He's so aware of it.
Yeah.
That I think that he's handled it differently, like than he did at one point, where it was just people fucking with him and he was getting genuinely annoyed. I think now it's almost like he doesn't maybe like it, but he knows what it is. It's a different thing.
Yeah. Okay.
Does he get chipped a lot?
He has a couple times, and he doesn't seem to care for that.
He doesn't like that, you don't think?
No, I
don't know why he
wouldn't.
See
more of that.
I find that funny.
More
so
Edgar's.
enjoyable.
Thanks, Fred, for waiting online.
Let's hear more.
Wait. You think Mike should get some Edgars too?
A couple of Craig Schenkels.
Just a little.
Hey, Mike, what do you think? I think that sometimes, like when LT would make tackles, I think sometimes you would put like a little bit too much elbow grease into it.
How annoyed would Mike Francesa be if Craig Schenkels started calling him with hip hop facts from the 80s?
Do you know one time after LT made a tackle, I was putting on Eric B. Rakim. Did you know that the real 50 Cent is actually on the back of, I think it was paid in full?
What?
Schenkelbody.
Yeah.
The real 50 Cent, not the rapper.
So, Craig, what's your question?
The rapper 50 Cent's real name is Curtis Jackson.
Yeah, what are we talking about? Rappers? What are we talking about? What are we talking about, Craig?
He wouldn't care for that.
No, he would hate it. He would just hate it.
Win in a street fight between Mike Tyson and Lawrence Taylor. Now, let's ponder for a minute what's going on in Fred's mind. What exactly he's thinking about here? Who would... So, Mink, the question was, who would win a street fight between Lawrence Taylor and Mike Tyson? I mean, I've had some weird questions, but that one is right there. I mean, why that would be in somebody's consciousness, I have no idea. Where that came from, I have no idea. I mean, Mike Tyson against Lawrence Taylor.
You don't think that you don't marvel at his ability to fill space with nothing?
Yeah, yes, that's amazing.
It's hilarious.
He does 5 hours a day? How much does he do?
That's a lot of talk.
Yeah,
he talks a lot. Yeah,
he doesn't talk a lot. He's just on the air a lot.
Right.
You ever heard a question like that? Like, this is the #1 radio show in New York.
Right. He doesn't know where to go with it. Yeah.
He didn't move on.
My money would be on Mike Tyson, though.
Of course, he's a professional boxer.
That is a good. I would agree. Although if you put them on a football field,
then you're right.
LT Joe Theismann.
I think that's not how you pronounce that.
No. I believe it was Theismann, and he changed Theismann to rhyme with Heisman. That's what I've heard.
I don't think that's true. I don't think it. Keep going with Mike.
To be honest, I've never thought of that one.
Neither have I. Neither have I. Not many times have I given we giving that a lot of thought?
Maybe we can get it at Francesa.
No.
You don't think he's great?
No,
he's the fucking Pope.
Even in a joke way, I find him just like dull.
See, that's
like, I know people fuck with him, and some of those calls are funny. But even ironically, like I've looked at him from every angle, and I just can't find anything interesting about him. He just bores me.
You and I part ways on that, my friend, because I will literally. I don't even like sports, and I will listen to his show just to hear.
Compelling.
Yeah. Well, if he doesn't like sports, why is he listening? He says he wants to find out what he's going to say next. I just want to find out what happens next.
Right. Yeah, I
on
understand.
that show. I'm just waiting for a Mongo to call in.
I need more
fuck up Francesa's day.
You just like to see the world burn, Sam. That's you.
That's it.
I need more bile from the guy. If he's gonna be like Bob Grant, I used to love because he was fucking.
Yeah, but he's putting on a show, Bob Grant. Like he's not like.
No, but Bob Grant was also saying really inflammatory things.
But that's what he's trying to do. Like he's trying. Like if
you want it to be sincere. Like
I don't think Bob Grant thought it was as inflammatory as it was. I don't think he thought he was.
He's
as
trying to
crazy
get
as it
people
was.
talking. Like Mike Francesa is trying to do a sports show where everybody just leaves him alone. And so when people go and disrupt Mike Francesa, it's to me the greatest thing in radio, and I'm on the radio. You know, I should, but that's my favorite.
Bob Grant was. You ask anybody, Bob Grant was a joy.
You like Bob Grant, Travis Dog?
I don't know Bob Grant. Was he a New York guy?
No. In the afternoons.
No.
He was 3 to 7 in the afternoons.
So the Ask Anybody theory doesn't hold up.
Well, you asked nobody.
Oh.
I would drive to gigs at night with an auto turn me onto him, and Bob Grant would be ranting. He was a conservative, 3 to 7. Drive time WABC had a huge spot.
Sports talk or
no, political conservative talk.
Okay.
And they would replay him at night, and we would hear him on the way home coming back.
But you don't think he was trying to piss people off?
Of course,
yeah.
But it was also. And don't tell me this is not part of his shtick as well. But the part of it was Bob was
part
just
of his
saying,
shtick is sounding like a fool.
No, he doesn't think he sounds like a fool.
But that's the point. That's the beauty.
But Bob Grant didn't think he sounded like a racist. Bob Grant thought he was being practical.
I'd rather somebody be unknowingly a fool than, unknowingly a racist. It's just like, ugh.
Yeah, I don't care. When they're being angry, next time you call me, take the bone out of your nose. Oh my God!
All right, that's
he
beautiful.
said that.
Bob Grant said that?
Yes.
No.
And when Ron Brown's plane went down, he might be. Was somebody say? I think he was. They say he might be dead, but then again, I've always been an optimist, and that's what got him fired from Disney.
Yeah.
It was something like that. Like he was fuck. He didn't play games.
Maybe your standards of Mike Francesa calls are too high.
I just like a guy going out there being. He would say horrible
there
shit.
It is, run around.
Yeah,
so funny. All right, let's finish up the Mike Francesa. That's it.
Yes.
Travis has one that he wants you to hear.
Okay,
Travis. I'm sorry.
Travis Dog.
No, Travis Dog. Matt, you're not barking?
Oh, sorry.
Good, now we have Matt.
I found that. I missed out. God damn.
Yeah, when the Travis Dog comes out to play.
Has Arsenio come in and done that for T-Dog?
Not yet.
I hope not.
Not yet. Not with Arsenio. The Travis Dog is in the box right
Yeah. Who let Travis Dog out?
Everybody's got to get their own bark too.
You don't like it, Travis?
Travis Dog.
Travis Dog.
The dog pound was like Snoopy Dog. Snoop Dogg would have the dog pound.
You just said Snoopy Dog, asshole.
Snoop Dogg had the dog pound, and the dogs would always be barking. Remember who let the dogs out? That was a great song.
No, it wasn't.
Sure
Who
was.
let the dogs out?
Oof, oof, oof.
Ice-T.
Ice-T was great. Oh, Ice Cube.
Ice Cube.
Yeah, some people are super talking about rappers.
I want to hear Travis's. I want to hear Travis's Mike Francesa poll.
Rusty in New Jersey. What's up, Rusty?
Hey, Mike, how you doing?
Good. What's up?
Listen, Hernandez was on before, and he made a good point about contracts and with the Cespedes deal. Now, I don't know if you know this, it's not sort of the same, but in 1976, the Giants in the third preseason game, their backup quarterback, he was a draft pick.
Wait a second. I thought you were talking. Were you just talking baseball a minute ago?
No, I'm talking about if you remember back in the day, they played 6 preseason
Right, but
games.
weren't you just talking about baseball? Wait, weren't you just talking about baseball 2 seconds ago?
Yeah, but what I'm trying to do is try to make a point about it.
Oh, I don't know what you're talking about, though. I have no idea what you're talking about.
I'm talking in the third preseason game, the Giants had a backup quarterback, and he had a chance I'm talking back in the day, not today. Back in the day.
A chance to do what?
He was Mike.
What are you talking about? I don't know what you're talking about.
About Keith Hernandez.
What about him?
Reggie Jackson had the biggest contract he signed.
Wait a second. You never mentioned Reggie Jackson's name. You never mentioned him in the conversation. I don't know what you're talking about.
The preseason game, when the Giants had a preseason game in '76, they used to play 6 games.
Right. What's the point? What's the point?
The point is, would you give Cespedes that extra 50 year on the contract?
My God, what language is this guy talking?
This is you.
One
This
minute
is like
he's talking
someone
about-
doing you fucking with someone. I think the guy was just doing that switching up with the stock prices going up, and I think he was messing with him. He's
just calling up and talking about God knows what.
It was well done.
Joe
That was
Beningo,
well
I
done.
prefer to him because Beningo I find to be much more just interesting, and but he was a real Jets fan. And,
Yeah, but that's the point. Like, Mike Francesa is not interesting. That's why he's so great.
No,
Like,
I don't
he's
mind when
just
he
a
gets
horse's
in.
ass.
Yeah, he is, but I run out of tolerance. It's just I don't find that.
Oh, I could listen all day. Like, I'm crying laughing listening to this guy.
Yeah, it's just him
because
being
he's
confused.
so frustrated. He's a confused man on the radio, and it's the top radio show there is.
The top.
He's the Pope. He's the Pope. This is-
How
this
many
is the
years has
Pope
he
of
been
sports
taking these
radio.
calls? These calls messing with him.
30 years.
30 years.
30 years. And he's still like, he goes home thinking he's got the one up on the Mongos. Number one. Check the books. Number one. Oh, he's the best. He's the best. And there's no argument over who's got more skill as a broadcaster. Like, I'm sure anybody you mentioned, I don't know Joe Beningo.
No, I just like him because he rants like about the Jets. Like I like when he's unhappy because I find him entertaining as a fan. Like I'm not saying he's a better I enjoy.
But I like when somebody is so unhappy.
Yeah, that's fine too.
That they forget they're doing a show. Like they're just like, what are you
Why
talking
are you
about?
ruining my existence here?
Yeah.
I don't mind that.
Adrian actually points out something very astute. Almost every sports radio show is better than Mike's. But he's the Pope. He's number one.
He's the Pope.
Number one. And he will rub your face in it. And just the fact that he has this like ego about him that he knows he's better than everybody.
He's like, what does he got left to prove?
Right. And everybody else is sitting there going like, that's not true. But the ratings match his opinion.
Because they listen to him in the post off. We all know why he's number one because you can listen to it anywhere. It's like why fucking Light FM does well.
He's number one because he's the Pope.
Well,
You can
it's
listen to it anywhere.
momentum. Like you listen to the same guy for 30 years.
You
Why
want to
do
hear
just
sport
have it?
talk.
That's what it is. Radio, like, and it doesn't happen with TV, but radio is the only thing where, like, if you can just stay on the air long enough, you will always have an audience. Because people will always want to hear just the sound of your voice. Whatever you're saying, that sounds like radio to them. That's their drive home. That's whatever it is. Like, that's just what that sound is. So people are just used to hearing this mush mouth.
I'll say this about what I respect about Francesa, though, is the fact that after Mad Dog left, and Mad Dog was, to me, by far the more interesting of the two, he's still doing well. I mean, it's like...
Number one.
Yeah.
It's like
doing
Scott
well,
and-
doing the
Scott
best.
and
The
Todd.
best. Number one.
Right.
Well, no, it's a little now.
Yeah,
it's
now-
not
now-
quite like that
no.
because
Scott's doing very well.
Scott left, and Todd did very poorly after Scotland. They did very poorly.
They fucked. Like really. Scott was the more interesting, and when the more interesting of the two gets cut, the other one flounders.
Yeah.
I don't know. What Todd did all those voices. What do you mean? Don't you think Mr. Underpants is interested?
This is Shekla McFloppy Tits. Fucking boo.
Boo.
Fucking boo.
I want to talk to you about this.
Ugh.
Let's go back to Francesa and being confused by Rusty.
About Reggie Jackson, Keith Hernandez. Then he's talking about them having 6 preseason games when I give Cespedes 5 years. What language is that?
He's pissed.
Yeah.
I need a roadmap. I had no idea what the guy was talking about. 1 minute he's talking about, Keith Hernandez was on earlier, they play 6 preseason games. I'm like, what are you talking about? Reggie Jackson. Oh, now Reggie Jackson's involved. What are we talking about here? I had no idea what that guy was talking about. I still don't know what he was talking about.
30 years he's been
How
doing that.
was Reggie Jackson and Keith Hernandez involved with that?
He's technically right,
What is
though.
Reggie Jackson doing
On this one, he's
preseason
right.
football?
Yeah, but like the odds are.
Was the guy fucking with him? The guy had to be fucking.
I think he was fucking with him.
like it.
And like Mike never goes like, "Oh, it's another one of these." Click, next caller. He goes like, "Is it just me or is this guy crazy?" Yes, Mike.
Yes.
That's the point because he wants to see you do what you're doing right now.
He's getting it.
Yeah, there's so many layers to that call because he gets annoyed before he even knows that he's being fucked with.
Right.
So that's one layer.
That's my favorite when he starts and he's like, "Well, you know, on the Giants, we're talking about baseball."
Yeah, like he won't even let the guy get to the point.
No.
Like he's immediately annoyed.
He's not self-aware.
And then he
Mike?
realizes
No.
that it's probably not a real question, and then he ponders the fact that it might be a real question when it's not.
I need a roadmap.
He's the best.
Or does he just enjoy that? Does he know?
I don't think
he
so.
gets so,
People wanna get
he
him
gets
in,
so
right?
annoyed.
I
He's
don't think so.
done with this.
Yeah, he's done, and he keeps saying.
He said he's pretty much done.
He keeps saying like his contract runs out, and he goes. Look, I love the way he was saying it because he said he's not staying with the fan after his contract is over, and he said he doesn't care what the audience thinks.
What? Really?
Like the audience is like showing him support, and he's like, "No, I don't care what you say. I'm not staying."
Is he moving to 3 in the afternoon?
That I don't know.
He already is afternoon.
Yeah, he already
he
is
is, right.
afternoon. He already is.
All right.
He already is.
because he wants to talk about different like music and how like rap evolved.
What?
I'm woke.
Just finish the 15 seconds left.
With that. What does Reggie Jackson have to do with preseason football? They play 3, they used to play 6 preseason games. Yeah, great. I understand that. What does that have to do with Reggie Jackson?
He's right.
Eric in Long Island. What's up, Eric?
The two don't correlate. He does bring up a good point.
He nailed it.
Yeah, no, he's
He
right.
nailed it.
That's why he's the Pope.
He's not wrong.
That's why he's the Pope. That's why he is number one.
He's number one.
Number one.
He's done something magical to do it for 30 years.
Yeah.
And to have the split, right? I mean, that
to
is
me
amazing.
is impressive because Mad Dog is much more, and you don't hear about Mad Dog at
Yeah.
all.
Mm-mm. No. But the Pope is crushing. The Pope is crushing.
He really built himself his own hell, though.
Why?
Because he's
The
number
Mongo
one. He gets
Nation?
millions of dollars, but he has to just be annoyed for 5 hours a day at callers.
Because his listener
What
base
time
is
does he
the
start?
Yeah.
2?
I think is he on from 2 to 7 or 1 to 6?
Oh,
Yeah, I think it's 2 to 7.
5 hours a day.
that's
Yeah.
a long show
It's a
by
long-
yourself.
It's a long show for
show.
anybody.
Yeah.
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 Especially when the Mongo Nation is right by your side, sitting there every day.
Do you guys see Mad Dog
Waiting
around
to
here?
call.
Is he around here?
Yeah, I see him. He does. I think he also does afternoons, or maybe
Yeah, he does afternoons.
Yeah, he comes in the afternoon.
And then he films High Heat here, right?
Yes.
For MLB Network?
Yep, they do it in his radio studio.
Oh, he's making a pretty penny.
Yeah, he doesn't have to deal with callers asking if Chip Chipperson should go to the Hall of Fame.
Man,
I do enjoy those.
Mike Francesa did get a call on his radio show
Should
once.
Chip Chipperson go to the Hall of Fame?
Yeah, I don't
That's
even know
good,
what it is.
man.
I don't even know what it is. I don't know who this guy is.
Well, I wish there was an Edgar or a Craig Schenkel. Those make me really happy.
You like those?
Oh, more than
If
I like
only.
breathing.
So you think if Craig Schenkel called up and asked Mike Francesa about hip hop trivia, you'd be happy?
Or if it was just like,
Do you think like because the old Giants would play these games and like a lot of times the music interludes during the game would be different. Sometimes they play Salt and Pepper Push It, which was kind of revolutionary, like what Roxanne Shante. She was responding to UTFO.
He should ask Mike if he's woke.
Are you woke?
I hate that you know that word and you've informed your characters of it.
The Kango Kid, UTFO was really good.
No, they're not.
Yes, they were.
Maybe
Mixed Master Ice.
just a whole bunch of references that Emile Hirsch wouldn't get.
Right.
Who?
Thank you to Emile Hirsch. Thank you to Matt Iseman for
Yeah,
hanging
buddy.
out.
Thanks for having me in, guys.
Of course. If you want to follow Matt Iseman on Twitter, where can they find you, buddy?
At Matt Iseman. MATTISEMAN.
Don't forget to watch the college
Team Ninja Warrior College Madness.
on Esquire Network.
Yep.
And then we'll see if there's any type of Ninja Warrior show that we can squeeze Jim Norton onto.
It'd be amazing. It's good rumor. It's a good rumor.
And I told you during the break, I will fly myself down to wherever it
that'd be
is that you're
amazing,
doing
wouldn't
it, just to be the loving, supporting.
What if he actually won?
Jim, I think he could.
What if he did?
I think he could do it. Take out, who else you got? Danny Bonaducci and Leif Garrett? I think he could take him out.
Danny Bonaducci is a fucking kickboxer or whatever, man. He's in shape.
That's true. That's true.
People forget he's played a little redheaded kid, but he's a fucking in better shape than I am. He's a karate guy.
Wow.
Emperor Mold on Twitter posted a photo of Jim and I in bed together wearing nylons.
Yeah, but they superimposed Travis.
You have nice legs.
Oh yeah, Travis is peeking from behind.
My
the
nickname
bed.
in high school was Gams McGillicuddy.
Slick. They put that in the yearbook?
Yeah, they did.
That's cool.
Gams McGillicuddy.
It's really, really cool. We'll be back tomorrow. Tomorrow we've got the, wait till you hear this, Matt Iseman. You're going to be jealous that you weren't here today.
Jerry Shepardini will be in?
No, you won't.
Oh.
Jerry Shepardini.
Thanks, Matt. I'm enjoying it.
Tomorrow we've got the girls from Fuller House.
Oh,
DJ
Candace
Tanner.
Cameron Bure.
Yeah, and
she's a Hallmark girl. We're Hallmark pals.
There it is.
There
Kimmy
it is.
Gibbler's coming in, and Stephanie Tanner's coming in too. Jody
Wow.
Sweden.
Cool.
You excited about that, Travis?
Yeah, sure.
I bet you are.
Guess.
Fucking tear
I bet you
that
are.
puss up.
And then, who else is coming in
Martin
tomorrow?
Freeman.
Martin Freeman, of course. Martin
Wow.
Freeman from The Office, from the first season of Fargo. That's going to be a fun one.
And also, of course, The Hobbit. I think he's promoting Sherlock Holmes, though.
Sherlock Holmes. It's going to be good.
He still does that with Benedict Cumberbatch, right?
Yeah.
I don't know. I haven't seen it yet.
Yeah.
I'll tell you tomorrow.
It's really good. I've seen a couple of them, and it's very, very unique the way it's shot.
Love it. Love it.
And my early shows are sold out in Doylestown. The late shows may be sold out as well. But just check for the Comedy Cabaret Friday, Saturday. It's my last weekend before a shoot. And then New Year's Eve at Tarrytown Music Hall. And real Jim Norton, I'm Snapchatting a lot.
Oh, shut up with the Snapchat.
Real Jim Norton.
You can follow along on all forms of social media, Twitter, Instagram, Facebook, Snapchat, at Jim and Sam
Snapchat's
Show.
a hit.
What's Snapchat?
Snapchat.
You can also follow us on YouTube. Subscribe to the channel because they're literally Sick Baby is putting new videos up every single day.
Amazing.
So go to Jim and Sam Show, youtube.com/Jim and Sam Show. And subscribe to the iTunes podcast too, Jim and Sam Show on iTunes and SoundCloud. And we'll see you
tomorrow. The dance off will start.
What dance off?
We're having a dance off tomorrow.
I'm not
Whole gang.
participating in a dance off.
Oh yes, you are. We all are. It's for charity.
No, it isn't. I'm not doing it. Goodbye, everybody.